Hello, 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 hello. What's good, everybody? How y'all doing tonight?
Man, doing good, doing good. Ready to discuss these shows.
Okay. How you doing tonight, mother of the sweet summer children? Oh, my bad, cheering.
I'm
I was about to
chilling,
Get that
say,
right.
chilling.
I added a L and a D that wasn't there. My bad.
You
what's
was
up,
trying to use the
fam?
proper English, but yeah, that ain't who we are.
That's right, right. So I hope y'all feeling good tonight, man. Look, TK ain't in the building with us. Well, he's here in spirit, and by in spirit I mean, as you can see,
I'm
Serial
this.
for real.
Yeah, I'm here for a second.
Yeah. So I'll be hosting tonight, and we're gonna get into season two, episodes one and two tonight. So it should be a lot of fun. It should be a lot of fun. Before we do that, I want to make sure y'all do one thing, and that's recently, Black with No Chaser dropped the Black with No Chaser radio app. I want y'all to go to y'all's Apple App Store or your Android App Store, pull that up, find that. Hopefully this podcast will be on there soon, so you can tune into that as well. All right, now that I got that shameless plug out of the way, ladies, gentlemen, brother Serial for real Williams. Oh shit. uh let's get right into season two,
Hold up,
episode one. Okay.
hold up. Before we do that,
All right.
this is why I'm here real quick. I just once again wanted to remind y'all Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, February 7th, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Uncle Corliss Valerian, the sea snake, is gonna pull up on us, and we
Woo.
want y'all to be here. Again, Tuesday, February 7th, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Pull up, and it's going
Li-
down.
Listen, man. We got Big Coil is coming to the stage. We got Valerian, the light skinned dread, pulling up to the scene. What's
Hey, which
happening,
one of you
brother?
niggas is cereal for? Man,
that's Tyrus, man. You know that nigga Serial for real Williams, dog. That shit is hilarious, dog.
hand
That
clap
shit
for that
funny.
one.
So look, man, y'all let your friends, let your all of your Game of Thrones fans know. Let the Game of Thrones fans know that y'all are pulling up tomorrow or Tuesday to watch Uncle Carlos, man. You know
That's
what I
some
mean?
exclusive shit, man. That's
Straight out
crazy.
of straight out of Driftmark.
That's some
Crazy,
exclusive ass shit there.
crazy motherfucking name Carlos.
They
So
should have never gave you niggas money.
for real, for real. And so with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and jump into season two, episode one. Yeah,
Okay.
what's the name of the episode, by the way? Shit.
Oh
I be
crap!
I
taking
I
I be
just watched
taking
the
notes and
bitches
don't
too.
even be writing it.
Um,
Hell yeah, I
you
just
want
I just watched both of them like literally in the last 2 hours, and I forgot the name.
right. I be pushing
One I
play like
just
a motherfucker.
the
I
one I
just push
just watched was the I think the Nightlands, but
okay.
well, you
I
wearing
forgot the
the
first.
Actually,
I forgot the first
the,
one.
you wearing the shirt.
the
It's the
title.
North Remembers for number one.
Oh, that's the
Oh, the North
title.
remembers.
Nigga, gang,
Okay, shit.
gang, nigga. I did that shit on purpose, nigga.
See
Yeah.
that? See that? He was on it. Well, shit. There we go. Season two, episode one, the North remembers is what we're getting into, and I'll set the stage by saying, okay, what we know is when the scene first opens, initially what you're seeing is the cruelty of Joffrey on his name day. The first thing you see is the Hound uh, fighting with another individual, and sending him to his death off of a balcony. And after that, Joffrey is basically having I suppose a tournament for his name day, for his birthday. And the next man comes out and he's kind of drunk. And Sansa is there with a spirit clearly broken by what all has transpired over. I don't know how much time has passed, but Sansa is clearly, you know, trying to just protect herself by giving Joffrey whatever it is that he wants from her and saying whatever it is that he desires. Um, the next man comes out and Joffrey proceeds to try to drown this man in alcohol because he presumes that the man has been drinking. This shows Joffrey's level of cruelty and the way that he's progressing um, in his position as king or in his capacity as king. He's then warned by both um, the Hound and Sansa that killing someone on your name day actually is bad luck and essentially it curses you. He doesn't listen to Sansa, but he does uh, listen after the Hound takes place. So that initially sets the scene for the beginning of this episode. Let's get right into it from there. Uh, Celestial, I'm gonna start off with you. Kind of talk to us about. Oh, and we got Celeste in the building tonight. What's up, Your Grace? What's good?
Hi, so sorry I was late. The Grammys had me.
It's all good. It's all good. We ain't gonna
We ain't
be
gonna
messy.
hold you, baby. We
You
ain't
know what
gonna
I
hold
mean?
you.
We ain't gonna be messy. So with that being said, look, Celestial, take us into it. Set the scene for us and let's get into it.
So this scene, the way that it starts out again reminds us who we have set up to be on the throne with Joffrey. He's rude, he's trying to kind of bully Sansa into behaving in certain ways. He tries to do things to get a rise out of her, and she's kind of deadpan, not giving him any response, or he's trying to goad her into a response. But the thing that cracked me up was when he wanted to kind of choke the guy with the wine or kill him with the wine, and she goes, "You can't," and he basically was like, "Bitch, what? Like, who can't? I'm the king." And so it takes the Hound corroborating what she says about, what you do on your name day will follow you throughout the year for him to kind of settle down. And from there, we go into seeing Cersei kind of running things until Tyrion shows up and foils what they got going on, which I love. So I really like the tone of this episode where we're kind of seeing the power struggle between Tyrion, Cersei, and Joffrey.
Facts. Valerian, you wanna jump in and kick the ballistics with that, bro?
Look, Celestial killed me because that's one of my favorite scenes when he hit her with that bitch. What? That shit is like when you sit and just really watch his whole move. Cause he was so pleased with himself. He got, his guard. They drowning the shit out of Post or Dantes. They pouring all the fucking wine down this boy's throat he can handle. And he just sitting back and he like, look at this shit. Look at this crazy shit I'm doing. And she hit him with, "Your Grace, you kind." My nigga said, man, the way his neck whipped at her, like the boy almost got whiplash. But like y'all said, like this is like peak. This is like just the peak of the iceberg as far as the cruelty and the level of shit this little dude is willing to go to, just for like shits and giggles. Like it's really like no reason for the shit. A lot of shit he does. Now it's some things that come later that I will kind of touch on, and I'm like, you know what? I think Leslie was right. I think the last time we got on, when he was talking about some things like Joffrey at times does have his little reasoning, but in most moments, that little shit just crazy as fuck.
I know it's for one thing for me, it's kind of hard to look at Joffrey like he's Cersei's son, but he is Cersei's son. Like some of that she gets from Tyrion, or not from Tyrion, from Tywin, passed down to her, has now passed down on to Joffrey.
Oh my bad. Definitely seems like she's created this Frankenstein monster in the form of Joffrey that she no longer has the ability to control in the way that she used to have control over when he was just Prince Joffrey. Now that he's the king, and he lets her know every chance that he can get that he is the damn king, and it's clear that he does not have a respect for women whatsoever. He restates that at every chance that he gets. And I think that it was because it was also the Hound that said what he said about his name day, that he even, relented against what he was doing to this poor man. Someone said, "How old was Joffrey turning on that name day?" Janelle Jennings asked that. Does anybody know?
I believe he was turning 14.
Okay,
I
don't
think
forget to
Andrea's
unmute yourselves. Don't
16.
forget to unmute yourselves.
I
So
don't know. Ain't it 16? Like when they say name day in terms of actually being named the king, that's what we're talking, right? Not just like a birthday or annual birthday. Like name day is like the actual day we are naming you the king of this motherfucker, right? If so, that's
okay,
16.
okay,
I thought it was his birthday, and I thought it was his 16th birthday because
Right. Usually it's the 16th
if
birthday is
Sansa
when
is
you
like
officially name the
14,
king. Because like
okay.
when you look at well, I won't go too far down the line, but when you look at when kings are young and they're named king at a young age, you got somebody that usually rules in their name until they turn 16, which is the 16th name day.
Okay. Mother of the sweet summer
yeah.
children.
So,
I'm gonna
but
bring you in. Come on, talk to us.
the
Oh,
Queen
you
Regent, that's what they are already calling her, as she is ruling politically in his name, because he is not of age, which I guess is 18 still. But he is the king, and she rules in his name politically. So that's why she sits in the small council meetings and makes policy in that way, but that's what she wants to do anyway. So that fits her needs, and then he can run around and drown people or make people fight or whatever crazy shit he wants to do that day.
right. So what we learn is that Tywin, who is essentially running the kingdom from afar, even as he's at battle, in a lot of ways, sends he was named the hand of the king. But instead, he sends Tyrion there in his stead to essentially, police Joffrey because they all know this a little crazy motherfucker. They know this. They know who he is, and so understanding that, he sends Tyrion there to be a voice of reason. And initially, when Tyrion arrives, I think it's Cersei that's outraged, right, by the idea.
Most
Is that right?
definitely. Most definitely. Because she's like, why are you here? And he just says, walks in and is like, hey, everybody, and pulls up a chair and sits down. Okay, what we talking about?
Right.
And she's like, why are you here? Oh, I'm the hand of the king. No, father is the hand of the king. No, I'm here for father. He told me to be hand of the king. Here's the paper. And of course, she does that rip up shit.
She love tearing shit up now. You know what I mean? She look at that shit. Oh shit, it's some bullshit. You done what you do to daddy? You like, now if I would have did something, if I could have did something to daddy, I'll be the king of the motherfucking world by now. But clearly, you know what I
But that'll
mean?
come later.
Right. And so that it just kind of shows you. I mean, like even she knows there's nothing that Tyrion could actually do to Tywin at this point, but she hates Tyrion so much that she's only left. Her only choice is to believe that he must have done something to earn the favor of their father and be put in a position to be able to uh, have a voice of real value in the kingdom.
In the kingdom, yeah.
So taking it from there, like in the small council meeting, there's a raven that arrives from the citadel and it declares that the great summer is done. And this is the longest summer in memory. What Varys begins to say is that a long summer, according to peasants, indicates that there'll be an even longer winter. And upon this suggestion, Littlefinger says that they have enough food for 5 summers. Someone says they have enough food for 5 summers, and it will last longer if they get rid of many of the peasants. Right? That reminded me of that sounded very Trumpish to me, to be quite honest. When they was talking about sending them out, I mean, like no, not letting any more in. And I was like, damn, that's a very interesting conversation. So
And yeah, they gave the order to the captain of the City Watch, Janos Slint, who I guess only second to Joffrey. He loves hurting people.
right.
So if it was in order, it would be I'm sorry, Joffrey, Meryn Trant, and then Janos Slint. So that's your top three.
Right. So essentially here, Tyrion and Cersei began having a conversation that's pretty intense because she kicks everybody out the small council meeting upon learning of what Tywin has done by making Tyrion the hand of the king. And they begin to have a conversation around, what's going on with Robb Stark and the Starks, and the fact that Cersei essentially blew it by one killing Ned or allowing what's the little motherfucker name, y'all? Come on,
Joffrey.
Joffrey. Y'all don't have to put yourselves on mute. I know.
Well, kind of keep the feedback down.
Yeah, I don't know why it was doing that tonight, but essentially, yeah, Joffrey. I get it. That shit. That might be me. I'm hearing the echo and shit now. So Joffrey
goes to that motherfucking chicken plate.
Right. I don't even got no chicken tonight. I'm eating strawberries on y'all.
The ghost, niggas. The ghost.
I'm eating strawberries on y'all ass. But
the North remembers, nigga.
So they're having this intense conversation about it, and he says essentially, you let Joffrey kill our leverage in the form of Ned, and then you still at least have two of the Stark sisters, to which she says we only have one. Say, how the fuck you lose the other one? Like, what was you doing? So you lost one, and this is suddenly like the first time that we're really seeing Tyrion kind of assert himself in that way. And I don't want to, if y'all want to kind of tap into anything that you feel is important about this conversation.
I like it overall. Just one, because I don't. The dialogue scenes between Tyrion and Cersei are few and far in between, but they're masterful. It's some of the best dialogue in all of Game of Thrones. I love it. I love it when they going at each other, because even though they fucking hate each other, it's still a healthy respect for the intellect. Even though Cersei won't admit she respects Tyrion's intellect, like you can tell she understands he's a well-adept little motherfucker. Pun intended. But like just the conversation itself, and like you said, when Tyrion is kind of going through, oh, okay, well at least we still, he killed Ned. Okay, cool. We'll cut our losses. Again, pun intended. But we still got the two Star girls. She's like, oh, take a sip of my drink. We got one of them, and he like, hey. And she like, shit, let one go. And he, in his little moment, that was like, you kind of see him internally smirking. Because, like he said, that was his moment of, ooh, bitch, you fucked up and I didn't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and you can, like, Tyrion being Tyrion, of course, he rubbed it in only in a way that he could. But I love the dialogue and just the way they go back and forth, and how in that one little moment you can see Cersei shrinking.
Right. One of the things that is disclosed is Robb Stark is a person who has never lost a battle.
Right.
And even if he is a child, he's a child that has won every war he's fought in. Cersei and it re-emphasizes that Tyrion is just there to be an advisor, and he replies back to her, she loves her children, and that's really one of her few redeeming qualities. It's her one redeeming quality.
Yeah.
And he replies back that the Starks love their children too, so that would be the way to, at the very least, try to negotiate an ending to this war. There is then a transition to the North, and the men are talking about the fact that the kingdom is kind of, well, I don't know who that nigga was that was talking, to be honest with you. I be watching TV, and and he said, man, the Masons, he was like, man, the Masons that other day, they ain't shit on the motherfucking Masons of yesterday. My shit falling apart down here. Now all my niggas is at war with Rob motherfucking ass, and he don't call him King Rob. And then Brandon's like, nah, nigga, call my guy King.
Me.
And if Brand could stand up, he would have stood up at that motherfucking moment. Like, hold the fuck up. Who the fuck you calling Rob? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got my brother.
The whole meetings down.
Right.
You shit down, man.
You got my brother fucked up.
I'm about to warg on this nigga, cuz.
Yeah, so they're holding court to hear all the problems that are going on in the region and what they need to do to help solve them. And Bran wants to go back, go back and forth with this dude, and Maester Lewin is like, we can send you a few people to fix your whatever it was for a week, and will that suffice? Because a wall or something. And he's like, yes, that'll be fine. And he's like, you don't want them to be up here all day. We got things to do. So he's trying to teach them how to handle the people as they come up with their complaints or problems, how to get them quickly solved and get them away.
Facts. So essentially they're trying to figure out how to divvy this out. And really, I took it as this is a moment where Bran is beginning to learn the lessons of really being a highborn. I mean, because when we last saw him, he was a little kid that loves to climb things, and he's obviously aged some since this, and now he's in a decision making position. And the Maester says something to him that I thought was significant at the time. What did he say to him? He said,
about listening to people.
Right.
Yeah, that being a Lord means that you have to listen to people even when you don't want to, basically.
Right. And that seems significant in the long run when we begin to kind of understand
Facts.
the roles that everyone is going to play.
Facts.
I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, it's one of your responsibility as the Lord of Winterfell. So they're showing the world through the wolf's eyes after that, and like suddenly we're like seeing this bright light in the sky. And Bran sees it, and then he looks down into the river and he sees the wolf. And this is a comment. What is this comment? What is this comment an omen of, y'all? Like, is this like what is this a sign of?
Prince that was promised.
Okay.
I thought it was the rebirth of dragons.
But all that shit kind of supposedly coincided. So like the Prince that was promised, Azor Ahai, all the shit with the dragons and shit, all that shit supposedly coincided with one massive event.
Okay. So it's not just a comment in the sky for shit's sake. Like a lot of people think it bears reason with regard to it. So they began talking about the comment. He and Hodor ain't talking, but
Hodor be Hodor.
Yeah, he do what he do.
Y'all ain't gotta do Hodor like that. Y'all ain't gotta.
I'm just saying, Hodor ain't talking. You know what I mean?
Hodor talks. He just says Hodor.
Yeah, I mean, what shit? He ain't even saying that right now. Nigga just
don't do Hodor. He's important. Don't do him.
True that. The girl says, and y'all have to tell me the girl name.
Osha.
I remember her name.
Osha.
Okay.
So, Osha says she basically is talking to Bran about dreaming, and Bran tells her he doesn't dream, which we know is a fucking lie. Not only does he dream, he dreams in a way that is almost real, and in some ways is real or foreshadowing. He talks again about.
At this point, he doesn't realize that he's warging into his wolf at night. He really doesn't realize that's what it is. He just thinks that it's regular dreaming. And
do you think this kind of like his form of puberty in a way? Like like a coming of age thing in the same way that a child maybe doesn't understand their body?
You definitely see it get stronger as he, ages. Yeah. So like definitely from last season to this point where we are already early in this season, it's a completely different dynamic almost from what he's feeling and seeing now versus then.
But I'm interested in what he thinks it is because he's very adamant when she says stuff about dreams. He keeps repeating, "I don't dream." So he doesn't think it's a dream. So what is it that he thinks is happening to him?
Right. Maybe he is defining it differently than dreams. When he says that, maybe he is saying it's maybe too significant to call it Just a dream.
Well, maybe it's a little too real for him, and
Yeah.
and he doesn't, and he's like, it's not a dream, but I don't know
Yeah.
what it
But he
is.
doesn't know what to call it. Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I agree with that.
That makes sense. So
You have to think, Bran has been thrown into a bunch of shit in a short amount of time. He lost his legs. He lost his daddy. Now he's lost his brother, basically, who's at battle, and he
Shit,
has
lost
to
his
rule
mama
over
too.
these
Mama just
people.
dipped on him.
Yeah, like, and he's still a child. Like, he wants to go shoot arrows. He don't want to be doing all this shit.
why Leslie write this shit, man?
Why he was
Oh, mother.
Oh man.
Oh
The
my
Dodgers was
gosh.
lit. The Dodgers
And
was
this is
too
why
lit.
we can't have nice things.
Right.
Because they've been cutting up in the comments. I keep laughing. I be trying not to pay attention, but
Not the puberty.
The
Y'all
puberty.
crazy.
So yeah, basically, this is what's going on in the north right now. Well, north, south of the wall. Currently. And then we transition over to Khaleesi, and her motherfucking people are starving to goddamn death.
Man,
The horse,
it's rough.
it's bad out there, but she do got a dragon though. She got 3 of them motherfuckers, and suddenly when we arrive, and that's what OSHA said is when you look up at the comment in the sky, what it's supposed to be a sign of is that there are dragons, and Bran says there haven't been dragons for centuries. Transition into Khaleesi with a dragon riding on her shoulder, and
Little badass Drogon.
right, badass Drogon on
With
her
them
shoulder.
fucking silver caps on his teeth.
You see him, Black Air Force energy all around.
That little nigga, I swear, that little fucking dragon was born with silver caps.
okay, I thought it was just me. I was like,
Oh yeah, dog.
That nigga bad, man. Drogon bad.
God.
wow.
Bad
Right.
Drogon.
Yeah,
I'm not messing with y'all tonight.
That nigga is bad.
he was ready to ride from day one. So
You see the other two, they in their baskets being all civil and calm, ain't bothering nobody. Drogon ass out there, like nigga.
so she trying to figure out what to feed the dragons and every damn thing.
Right.
She trying to refer back to shit that Viserys said, and she said, well, he don't know shit.
He ain't no shit.
And so they trying to figure out what do dragons eat. Same time, the Dothraki and the people that stayed with Khaleesi, all are beginning to starve to death to the point where the horse that Drogo gave her as a gift passes the fuck out right in front of them. And they now have decisions to make. And Khaleesi is trying to figure out how to get her people fed and water. And what Jorah Mormont tells her is, if you send somebody somewhere, if you go west, the Dothraki gonna get your ass and take your dragons. If you go east, the shepherds or the sheep men or whatever the fuck you call them,
Whoever them niggas over there is going.
right?
They
Gonna take your
dragon.
gonna
take
kill
your
y'all
dragon.
and take your motherfucking dragon. She like, ain't nobody gonna take my motherfucking dragon. But I mean, literally everybody is passing the fuck out. So she's left with no choice but to send somebody on a mission, right? To so talk about why this mission is significant. Is this mission significant?
Yeah, because they ain't had shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like they was out there, they was drunk, starving, broke, we hungry, nigga. So like she tried to send Buddy, it's safe, I guess, to send one, to send all, in search and trying to find safer land, food, shelter, sustenance, something along those lines. So with that said, she sent one guy out and you know how that
Who-
went.
She
He was-
sent
he
2.
Who did she send?
sent two.
No, who did she send?
Yeah, she sent several out
Yeah,
in
she sent
different
more.
directions.
She sent them all in different directions.
Yeah.
Bless it.
Now,
Bless
where
them
have we
all.
seen this
Bless them,
before?
Jesus. Bless all 3 of them, Jesus.
Where have we seen that before? I mean, technically before. For those who
Ah, shit, man. Don't do that. No, too soon.
Okay.
Too
All right,
soon,
My
nigga.
bad, my bad, my bad.
No.
All I'm
nigga,
saying is when
no.
niggas- When
I don't
niggas
wanna
split up,
do that.
niggas get split up. That's
I
all
don't
I'm
wanna
saying.
do this, man. I don't want to do this, man. Because they gonna be like, fuck them kids.
Listen, all I'm saying is when niggas split up, niggas get split the fuck up.
Mm.
dog,
You
know
done
what I'm
ruined my
saying?
whole mood, nigga. I gotta strike that.
Oh,
And
God.
so Right. And so you know,
Damn,
I mean, like
nigga,
she
drink
said,
one for Luceris.
hey, look, post something out for him because he gonna need it. But she sends them in different directions, looking for water and looking for resources. So we kicking it over to the Nice Watch, y'all. Somebody set that up for me. Nice Watch, they beyond the wall now.
Okay,
to me.
so the Night's Watch. Oh,
Yeah, you
go
good. Uh-huh.
okay. So the Night's Watch rode out at the end of 10, going beyond the wall. So the first place they get to is Craster's Keep. And Craster is this dirty motherfucker who who is into generational incest. So the old women that he had babies. Okay. Then he had babies with those babies once they came of age. And once those babies had babies, he had babies with them. So when we get to Craster's Keep and everybody's creeped out and looking around, and you know, Mormont's like, don't touch him, don't talk to him, nothing. You don't, you know, we are here as his guests. We just need to spend the night or regroup. Yeah, Craster's Creep. Yeah, you're right, Carlton Patterson. That's for real. So
Tamika Nicole said Crafty. She said he is his own grandpa.
Damn.
That shit funny, man.
Oh, my people.
Yeah.
So, oh God. So I mean,
I'm sorry.
That shit is funny.
That's the comment of the night. That's the comment of the night.
Hold on, y'all.
all right.
That's a lot to take in.
Oh.
So what had happened was Craster comes out and he greets Mormont, and Mormont starts cracking on Jon Snow, talking about he's prettier than all his daughters and granddaughters or whoever.
He was talking real greasy to Jon Snow, man. Real greasy.
There's some levels to that incest, though, man. There's a lot of levels to that incest.
Yeah, this a whole nother level though. He got a whole compound.
Yeah. So, and there are some who are pregnant, and John notices that there are no male children, or there are no boys running around. It's just all girls. And Mormont's like, mind your business.
Thank God for them little boys' booties.
Be go on your post, do what you need to do, and mind your business and mind your manners. Don't touch nobody, don't talk to nobody. And then who's the first motherfucker to talk to somebody? That wannabe pimp ass Sam.
Goddamn Sam, big ass.
Sam around there slobbering, looking at the girls. Somebody who like to see him walk away. I'm like, Sam.
Yeah, Sam hot and ready. Like,
Slewfoot Sam got a little fire under that robe.
Talk to him. That's right, Sam.
He got a little pimpology on it. He got a little pimpology.
Sometimes all it takes is getting from around a bunch of hard legs and seeing them.
Yeah, Sam trying to see what's up. He like, look.
Like, he ain't gonna miss this one over here.
Right. Sam said, I done been up at the wall 6 months, baby. What's happening? You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nothing like seeing a few mama daughters.
Right.
Wait.
And so I guess one takes his interest in particular. Y'all wanna talk about that at all?
Cause she looked just
okay. Jump in, Celeste.
I wanted to just go back and talk about how Lord Commander let old boy talk to John Greasy and then told John shut the fuck up. Like, shut the fuck up and sit down. Like, we in this man's house. So then after they walk out, he snatches John up, puts him up against the tree. I was like, bruh, why is you talking? He's like, do you want to lead one day? Well, if you want to lead, you gotta learn how to follow. So, which that's what I like. That was the nugget. Like,
Right.
watch what
That was-
I do. If you want this position, sit back, shut up, and watch what the hell I do. Watch how I handle people like this.
Hey, them comments wilding, bro.
Right.
They
And
wild.
you know what else is like this was where they were seeking refuge beyond the wall, like where the free folk and stuff are. And I was like, damn, it stank back beyond the wall, dog. Like it looked like it stank up in there. You know what I mean? Like, and this is life beyond the wall. Like the wall was not the greatest thing in the world, but you know, it was, you know, their form of civilization, I guess. And once they got beyond it, it's, you know, Daddy Crester taking his daughters down through there and ready to kill anybody else who look. He said he'll poke John eyes out,
Man,
just for looking
behind this shit.
right with it pretty self. You know what I'm saying? He said he'll die by that.
I
But
kill
for
you about
real,
I kill you about my
your
daughter
kids?
wives, nigga.
Who wants
That
to
nigga
look
had
at your
daughter
wives? They got like 47 chromosomes. We don't want to see that.
Man, listen,
We
it
don't
is
want to see it.
it is a lot. It is giving Cro-Magnon energy. No lie.
Hey,
You
man.
know what I mean? It is
Hey,
giving.
Gilly,
And came back too because she
It
said
is-
extra chromosomes.
It is giving Homo erectus. Is that right? Is that the? Is
The
that
wild and wonderful whites of West Virginia.
Yes. I'm talking about. It looked like that Leonardo da Vinci painting.
Your Grace know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's a lot of evolution taking place in
Hey,
that
I'm in
household.
Kentucky. I see it every
Yeah.
day.
Listen,
Oh,
wow, yeah, Lee, Kentucky catching strays up in this thing.
hey,
You know, listen. What you say? What you say, Carl?
Leslie on deck. He's,
All right, he in here?
Leslie
Where he
say,
at?
let a nigga in.
Where he at? Oh, there he go. Shit.
Oh snap!
God damn, I was waiting for y'all niggas, man.
Damn,
I
I ain't even see you down there, man. Damn, my
y'all
bad.
was over here talking about fucking incest and shit. God damn.
Commonplace on this fucking show.
I'm talking about we can't
right,
get away.
exactly.
You can't. It's on here every motherfucking week. You can't get away
That's
from
true.
it.
That's true.
Leslie,
This is
your
like,
name,
but
your
Craster's
name.
Keep though is like the fucking.
What's my name? I'm sorry, it ain't.
Craster's Keep is the fucking boss level though of the whole show. That nigga shit is definitely the boss level.
Right. That
Yeah.
he doing it different up there. So
Say different.
I know you just pulled up to the scene. So, but we do want to let you get the opportunity to kind of jump in. We are still at Craster's Keep as of right now. We've been talking about what's happening with that, and I think one of the conversations that's beginning to taking place is about Mance Rayder. Can you kind of fill us in on the conversation about what Mance Rayder is doing and why it's significant?
Yeah, so Mance Rayder was once a member of the Night's Watch, and he ended up kind of going off on his own, doing his own thing north of the wall, and he became eventually king beyond the wall. And what he's trying to do right now is to gather up all the wildlings, everyone from the cannibals to the fucking, I don't know, shit. All these goddamn wildlings ain't nothing but, I mean, damn, what's the word I'm looking for that doesn't say something trash? Anyway, they something trash. Fill in the blank trash. All right. And so I'm just leave it there. They all like varying degrees of blank trash.
Gotcha.
And what he's doing is that he's bringing them together for one common cause, and that is to get the fuck south of the wall to run away from the walkers, from the Caucasian walkers.
Yeah.
Shit, I just missed it. My fault.
It's all good. So that's actually a good breakdown. So literally there's an army coming from the real
like I die for this shit too.
That's what I'm laughing
like
at.
Yo.
so there's an army coming
That was
from North Memphis down to the south. You know what I mean? Like, so they coming down for real to the south, and they're bringing a army they say is bigger than any army in the south, and so that's a sign of the fact that another omen is on the horizon with that. So
shout out to Crashers Keep, by the way. That's like the number one. I mean, that's pretty much the only club north of, north of the wall, man. I mean, shit. It's only a club for one nigga, but you know,
right.
if you can, we'll see later on. If you get rid of him, motherfuckers have a good time. I mean,
let's
out here,
no, let's take it over.
Been out here fucking with this shit.
Right.
Let's take it over to Stannis Baratheon and the Lord of Light and Melisandre. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought Lightbringer was a different sword, so I kind of want y'all to definitely touch on that. With that whole thing where they were basically doing this demonstration, where they were, well, we won't call it a ceremony, where they were killing the old guys essentially, and burning them in effigy, and celebrating the new guys, the Lord of Light. So y'all jump into that for me and kind of help us lay folks that don't read and shit like that understand what the fuck really going on with that.
So Melisandre is a priestess of Raylor, the Lord of Light. So she's always red. She's got that weird necklace on with the big stone in it. And as you can see, it flashes on and off like she's having a hot flash, like she's in menopause. But that's another story for another time. So she has convinced Stannis, who is Robert's older brother, that he is Azor High. And so she concocts this ceremony on the beach where he withdraws a sword that flames up like he's Azor High, like he's the prince that was promised. Okay, well, and then it winds up burning some of his old constituents who don't believe, because you can't have the old with the new, so you got to get rid of the old and make everybody go with the new. So that's his first appearance. His first appearance of Melisandre. First appearance of Sir Davos Seaworth, who is his consigliere, for lack of a better word. Okay. And also the first time that we hear, "For the night is dark and full of terrors," for the first time. One of the long running taglines. Okay, somebody else talk.
Is someone else talking? I'm sorry. Like, okay, so thank you for setting that up for us. So yeah, I mean, like, this is the first time really. I mean, this is my first time seeing anything about the Lord of Light mentioned at this point. Our first introduction to Melisandre, and we've heard Stannis Baratheon talked about, but I think this is our first time actually seeing him.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a oh shit, what's going on? What? Hold on, man. I'm sorry, y'all. I told my sister not to call me.
Why is your sister?
Listen, I told my sister. I said I'm gonna be on.
I said, Shar, man. That's not.
Yeah,
that's not
I
right,
said
man.
I'm gonna be on.
Shar, man.
I said I'm gonna
Yes,
be on.
CJ, it's your
Rewatch this
sister.
song.
I'm with you, Celeste.
This my for real sister, y'all.
I'm going to tell her that you.
It's not
Ain't
like
nobody
a,
calling you
it's
a
not like a,
non-police.
this
Blaming
ain't no
her
like
for your
this ain't no
fuck-ups.
this ain't no Cresta sister. You know what I mean? It's my sister. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
not your sister, grandma. Okay.
We came out the same.
It ain't Domino's.
Came out the same.
Oh, God.
Listen, that's my sister.
No,
But
That don't mean nothing with Crasta though. That don't mean.
you're right. It really don't. He leaving with
all
something.
his sisters, it don't matter.
No, I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
Right, he leaving here with something.
I'm leaving here with something.
But there's at least one man who at least we think is of reason, because he's like, Davos, talk this fool Stannis about what the fuck is going on. You know, like this is crazy. What are y'all doing? This shit is ridiculous. And they do this ceremony where they pull the sword, which she says whoever pulls this sword from the fire shall be known as the what? What would the person be known as that pulls the sword from the fire?
What, Azor High, Prince of was promised?
He
The-
said the
yes.
sword would be not the light bringer.
The
The
light
light
bringer.
bringer. Okay. Yeah, the sword is a light bringer, which was wielded by Azor Ahai, the prince that was promised when they defeated the White Walkers the first time 8,000
Okay.
years ago.
So that is light bringer. That it actually.
Yeah,
is
well, no, that's not light bringer, but that's the fucking.
Because
That's what she's
It's almost like
passing off.
it's almost like the body and the blood of Christ, right? It's almost
okay.
it ain't actual light bringer.
It's
But he's not,
crackers.
so he ain't wielding light
it's
bringer in
crack-
the show? Because on the book, he's actually wielding that motherfucker.
I didn't think that was an actual light bringer. That's not light bringer, is it?
I don't know. Oh, I don't know. That's what I said on the show. I don't know. In the book, he's actually wielding light bringer. But
Hey,
that
don't
shit,
somebody down the road actually wield light bringer, or is that just? Go ahead,
She
go ahead.
lights. She can light swords, but those swords that she can light weren't light bringer.
Yeah, I was about to
Thank
say
you.
that.
Okay, that's what Yeah, that's what. Okay, so this was more like as this was more of a ceremonial thing. It wasn't the actual. He was actually wielding light
it was the
bringer.
crackers and the grape juice.
Crackers and grape juice. There you go.
Crackers and
And we talk about real crackers.
Oh yeah, actual like salty.
That
yeah.
Jordan is grape juice.
We're talking about bread with salt, leavened bread.
Salty.
Or is it unleavened bread? I don't know.
For the package.
11.
So all right, now we jumping into Stark and Jamie, y'all. I know I need to pick up the pace on this episode because this motherfucker, you know how we can get down sometimes. But Stark and Jamie jump into a conversation with one another, and essentially Jamie asked Stark, Rob Stark, like, you must be fond of me. You bringing me with you everywhere fucking where you go. And I ain't seen a girl once. You must like me a little bit. And he says, why don't you leave somebody else with me? Why don't you leave one of your men with me? He said, it's because I don't trust. He says, I trust my men with my life, but I don't trust your ass. And I don't trust you. I don't trust you with them. Because I know the first thing you do is bribe them for your freedom, or to get you to freedom. And then, you do what a Lannister would do. But he does had this conversation with him. Carlton, can you jump into that conversation a little bit, Carlton, and then Celeste? Talk a little bit about that convo.
Yeah, it's just you see Jamie being Jamie, trying to it's his usual tactics. You kind of see Jamie getting to a point a little bit where you kind of start to feel like he's getting to that breaking point. He's not quite broken as a prisoner of war, but you can see him starting to feel like, damn, this shit might be a little bit hopeless. So Rob is coming to talk to him, and that's him trying to use those tactics, using Rob's age against him. They even though he's won these 3 battles at this point, even though he has captured Jamie at this point, he's, oh, you green, you this, you that, you can't win this war, you carrying me around. But my favorite part of that whole conversation, of course, is when Rob pull up with Grey Wind, and it's subtle. It's just the subtlety of it. Like, you call me a boy, it's boy this, it's boy that, but a boy has captured you. A boy has won these battles. You might get killed by a boy. You keep fucking around out here. So it was just, I love the subtlety of those conversations, but I love how Rob is like never shaken by any of that shit.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I was fond of about. I mean, that I am fond of about Rob. And so yeah, man. Like I definitely like, that's one of the things that I admire, and I liked how he was like, I can trust my fucking wolf.
Right.
You can't bribe this wolf, so I don't need a man to watch you.
Rob is cutthroat. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Boo! Boo!
No, but Rob may be cutthroat, but Rob is also not very smart, because he has Stark genes, so we have to consider who his daddy is. But he really should have listened better to me. He should have listened better to Jamie and figured out that Jamie was trying to, 1, get under his skin, and 2, figure out his next move. If he would have listened to Jamie, then Jamie wouldn't have escaped, because he would have had more people guarding Jamie.
Right. Yeah,
That's true.
He definitely took Jamie's will to survive for granted. And when she says wouldn't have escaped, she's really like she's a seer, so she's seen the future. You know what I mean? Like she don't. I mean, when we say escape, we talking about like the group. Who can you run to? You know what I mean? Like,
Not your
you know what I mean?
daddy, nigga. He ain't come here.
It's what we talk about here. You know what I mean?
Man, Rob was tactical, man. Rob was.
I mean, that was a
tactical.
hypothetical. That was a hypothetical.
Rob
Hypothetically,
was
of course.
Rob was super tactical, but he was not political, and that was like one of his biggest failings. You know, in a lot of different ways, was like he wasn't political.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Especially within his own.
Region. He was a master tactician. He's masterful.
Yeah.
But that political shit, fuck, let somebody else do it.
Right.
So, all right, we're gonna take it over back to King's Landing, and now there's a conversation that's taking place between Cersei and Baelish.
And Lord Baelish.
Get on it,
I definitely want y'all. Yeah, I know that's a celestial conversation, and that's a mother of the sweet summer children conversation. And Leslie, I want you to jump into that one too, because I know you're gonna break down some elements of that as well. So Celestial, you start us
break down shit, but go ahead, Celeste.
Littlefinger, who was a master storyteller. We see that more than once in this episode. And you have Cersei, who got a slick mouth. So these two come across each other, and basically Cersei, starts with trying to tell a little story about, oh yeah, I know a fella who didn't have any power, but he got in good with some folks. She wanted to remind Littlefinger from whence he came, and that he came up through the Stark. So you connected to the Stark blood, bruh. So what you don't want to do is come for me. And then Littlefinger tried to turn that thing back around on her and was basically like, but I know a few things, and knowledge is power. When Cersei flipped that thing back around and started playing with the guards, put the blade to his throat. No, never mind. No, turn him to the left, turn him to the right. Power is power. I was like, oh snap, okay.
Had that nigga doing the wobble.
Man. Hey, that
shit. She broke it down and let him know you might know some things, but at the end of the day, I am the queen. Queen Regent? And what you don't want is a war with me. And so I thought that was. I can't stand Cersei, but I like the way she.
Now get your punk ass out there and find that girl, like I said.
Right. She really told Littlefinger, keep it cute, cause it was like it. I mean, Littlefinger looked like he had shit himself a little bit.
Oh man, it was over.
Like,
it
was a little boo boo. It was a little boo boo in his robe after that.
It was puckering back there. It was puckering.
But the Littlefinger has all these calculations in his head. He ain't count for that shit.
He calculated that shit at all.
He did not account for that shit, man. And this was the first. And I forgot about this scene too when I was rewatching this shit. This is one of the first times I remember how different Cersei is. Like I was like, oh, this motherfucker is different.
Facts.
She may not have the greatest intellect in the world, but she's going to use and wield her power to her advantage every single time. Like, and she's going to let it be known. And so, man, like that was a great scene, though. Cersei, Cersei's that.
Man, I think Cersei is one of the most intellectual people on the show. She's just impulsive. She acts off of emotion, but she is like extremely intellectual. Everything that she does and says, I think, is like very well thought out. I think she calculates the results of a lot of things, even though she does react a lot of times, very quickly. But I think that Fuse is so quick and she can react so quickly because she's so intellectual. Like a lot of the moves Cersei made, she made like that. But them bitches work. Like it's very few times that we'll see Cersei fail. And we know how that goes, but more often than not, that bitch be winning.
Yeah, that damn Cersei
is be winning, bro.
Cersei is a super villain for real.
Yeah, but so I don't know if Cersei's like intellect.
So
what I mean by intellect is like a more traditional intellect, like reading the books and kind of just kind of knowledge and expertise in many matters. Right. But you're right, as far as her like common sense game and her just sort of just
she be so far
like for one people. people
all
take
that
her.
she is watching her father deal with people.
Yeah, right. People, but
Yeah.
but also it's the woman factor, which I've talked to about before, even with Ned underestimating her because she's a woman. I think a lot of people underestimate her because of the fact that she's a woman.
She
When it
knows
comes to
that
women
she plays
empowerment,
to that.
it's her and fucking Danny. Those are the two that niggas underestimate time and time again, and they always get burned.
That's
They
true.
always get burned.
Interesting.
Pun intended, nigga.
Interesting choice of
Right,
words.
right.
We got reminded of
Both
her
of them.
right after that, though. We got reminded. We got put back in her place shortly.
Yeah.
thereafter.
Yeah, she did by her kid.
Man.
And
Man.
so I think
Man.
that's an important, like, but what y'all just said in that conversation is important because I mean, essentially Cersei is relatively strategic, maybe not like in a I read the books type of way, but in a she knows how to play this game type of way.
Know how to play that game.
But
people's
she
behavior.
only her biggest weakness is the thing that motivates her most, and that's her kids. Like that's her, like her not being able to gauge just how dangerous Joffrey was as king. She got kind of the same. She got the Alicent blindness to me, like she got a similar level of that going on. Hold on. So I did skip over something that I think was important, and that's when old boy tried to put poison in his own cup when after Stannis Baratheon wouldn't listen. And so he was like, "Hey, let's toast to the old guys and the new guys."
Man,
You know
that
what I
shit
mean?
just funny how he switched up so quick. That shit was
Right.
hilarious to me. Hey man, I was bullshitting early, man. I was tripping. Let's drink
As
to
if
these
nobody would see that shit.
Right.
Let's drink to these niggas.
So
Like,
Davos sees
we
him.
see
He like, man, let's pull up. You know what I'm saying? I got some wine right here. Matter of fact, you want some? I'ma drink some.
Never mind, like I'm just going off on you after you just like burned like 5,000 niggas. Forget that.
Right.
Go up to the good life.
He like, fucking, let's
Like,
drink.
oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I all of this burning shit has gotten me thirsty.
you know
And
what?
so he stands his ass up. Go, talk to us about that. Tell me what the significance of that was. This whole scene, and take us through the detail of it.
Well, old dude thought that he was going to be able to get rid of Melisandre because she was just a flash in the pan, or she was just Stannis' new toy or something. But what he didn't realize is that she's there to stay, and that because of her indoctrination into the Lord of Light, into Grey Lord, poisons, y'all know poisons don't even work. So let me go ahead and drink this up.
Right.
To the head, nigga, to the head.
Right. She really did take it to the head.
Yeah, he actually kind of solidified her role in Stannis's camp by showing her power. So
that's P power. She got that P power, and it resonates all over her fucking like her
that thing hot. That thing.
Is that how you talk about it?
All the way to her esophagus? She can like absorb poison and shit.
He's talking with his hands a lot, ain't he?
Yeah, I mean, because bruh, that motherfucking sunshine.
What you talking about, man? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, bro?
So this episode, this episode
ain't never coming home.
So we see this part take place, and I wanted to make sure that was highlighted because, as Celeste stated, this kind of solidifies that the Lord of Light, the new gods are the way to go, because the new guys protected her from the death that the old guys didn't protect him from.
And I mean, to this point, this is the only demonstration that we have seen, like, from any of the gods. Anybody's gods, we have not seen an actual like demonstration of power up until this point with the Lord of Light.
Facts. That. I mean, like, that is the first sign of, hey,
my God work, nigga. Your God,
right?
Right.
Right. Look at you down there dead. Me, I'm alive.
The Lord of Light works, nigga.
You know what I mean? Like, so she get her shine on, and little did we know. But
Hallelujah.
I think that's I think outside of that, the last thing that we need to really touch on is the conversation that takes place between Cersei and Joffrey
Yes.
at the end of this
Yes.
episode.
In this episode,
Will
following
y'all,
the killing.
will y'all jump into that for me? The conversation that takes place and why it took place.
He was starting to redecorate the throne room. He was
I gotta
like,
say, boy, Joffrey got some style on I mean, that motherfucker got some style on him. Now, y'all can't deny that shit. That nigga
He was decorating that bit, wasn't
he be having little rings on and shit. That motherfucker.
He had on that red and gold robe.
that red
Yeah,
and
he
gold.
looked cute.
that nigga got that crown stag shit.
that kind of that fit like
You feel me?
cut it to the side a little bit.
oh, God.
Don't.
So what Joffrey asked his mama though?
I done heard some rumors about you and my uncle.
Some disgusting rumors.
Yes. What's
I done heard
that?
some things
Like,
about you.
you been having sex with my uncle? Is he not happy?
Bitch, you got some things you want to tell me about?
Right.
And then she hauls off and slaps pure D shit out of him
Man,
for show.
That
Right.
shit he said though, that the shit. His response was some of the most gangster shit. You know what? I was like, nigga, you gonna fuck around and make me respect you, even though I hate you.
What did he say? What did he
Hey,
say?
that boy looked at his mama dead in the face and said, "You know what you just did is punishable by death, right? You would never do it again." That was the part that killed me.
No, I'm gonna tell you what was funny to me.
Mama.
When she slapped that motherfucker, and everybody up in that bitch looked the other way.
Man.
like,
Oh,
They was like, what?
nigga, I ain't see shit. Nigga, don't
They
ask
kept
me.
working.
Nigga, everybody up in that motherfucker turned into Ray Charles.
let me finish. Oh, yeah.
What I say? Nothing.
Yeah.
I ain't see nothing.
Oh, nigga, let me get back to this chipping up wood.
Whistle while you work, nigga.
Right, them niggas, they got back to work when that. I mean, like, and after if you seen what happens when you if you were to even sort of laugh or pay attention,
Man,
there's some shit that happened with Joffrey
Right.
when he's in. I'm surprised Joffrey didn't kill everybody in that motherfucker.
bro, the whole fucking record skip. It's like if he was watching, the music was playing and fucking.
Yes. It was like when Martin and Eddie walked in there where they only served white
Bro,
pie.
but it's funny. Even Cersei, like when she slapped him, she like her. Even Cersei's face, like she like.
She was
Fuck,
like, oh hell.
I done
Right.
slapped
She
this
was like, oh,
fucking
shit.
demon ass child.
She did look scared. She looked scared too. You
My
know,
man
like
had fun.
Put
He-
her
he-
ass in her
Right.
place. That's another moment. That's one of very few moments that you see Cersei put into her fucking place, dog. Like that shit is just, it's beautiful. I love to see her get put in her place too, because it's so deserving to see her ass get put down, especially as condescending as she is all the fucking time. But
To everybody.
he
So-
got her ass. He said that shit too and walked off like, bitch, I will fuck you. Ooh, let me go.
So-
knock you. Let me go.
So the next-
knock you.
Woo, you almost got that lighted.
So the next thing that Joffrey does is put out an SOS on every bastard child of Robert Baratheon's in the.
How many bastards he had, mama?
But we didn't know that at that point that it was him though.
Right, but it ended up turning out to be him.
Right.
Was
My bad.
Joffrey right?
Yeah.
Was Joffrey right? I'm gonna ask this again. I
Yes.
keep asking this question for some
It
reason.
was
The
smart.
answer is fucking yes.
It
Yes.
was awful, but it was smart.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was
That was the
Joffrey right?
easiest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, but that shit, and I think even like it was obvious. I think they foreshadowed, the fact that it was like him asking, like, hey, how many bastards did Daddy have out here? I think you knew immediately, like, murder game. It's over with. It's over with for them children.
Right. So the first place
Let
they
them
go.
sweet summer children.
So I don't
God
want.
bless
to.
them. They
Am I jumping? Am I jumping ahead if I talk about what he does with the when he puts out basically the APB on everybody
No, that's
to
how
the
they
to the citywide?
Because that's how the episode finishes, right?
Yeah, that's how that
Yeah.
show finishes.
The city-
Them
the city
killing
watch-
the kids.
Right.
Yeah,
the citywide
like little
rushes
kids.
Littlefinger's spot first.
Yeah,
And-
right.
Right.
They rush little
That's
fingers
the first.
first. They grab the
And
baby
then-
boy,
Right. And
And
then
and
yeah.
they kill. They go ahead and kill that.
Right.
But in the books, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Cersei, the one who was responsible for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it was on some
No
just
difference.
straight jealous
Yeah,
wife.
it was more.
It was on some spiteful, fuck your kids shit.
Yes, Cersei is a lot more emotional in the books and a lot less like strategic and all over the place. But in the show, they made her more,
Hey,
So
Daddy, that
for the
crazy
last-
bitch out there again.
So the last thing they do,
crazy bitch out there again.
the
That's Cersei.
last thing they do is they go to the blacksmith's shop and
Looking for Gendry.
they looking for Gendry. They put his head up against the blacksmith.
That nigga gave it.
The
That
fire
nigga gave
shit.
up Gendry ass real quick.
Man,
Man,
hey, that
I'm
nigga
talking
ain't
about-
even get a burger fries before he flipped.
that nigga told it all like
Yeah.
Usher on Confessions,
That
baby.
nigga didn't get a
Like that.
cigarette. Hey, nigga
Listen.
didn't get a cigarette, a burger, and fries or nothing. He gave it up quick.
Right.
I'm talking about. He said, man.
He
look,
only had his face being held to hot coals.
right. Look, he said, look. It was like
fuck my face up.
I don't know if y'all remember that. I don't know if y'all remember when JoJo was telling on them niggas on Bad Boy too. He's like, oh, don't do it, JoJo.
Don't do it, JoJo.
Boy, he's like, hey, it's one motherfucker. It's one motherfucker.
It's one
One
motherfucker.
Einstein.
He stayed
One
in Red
Einstein.
Bed.
Yeah, motherfucker. Stay out there in Coconut Grove.
And it's Bad Boys 1, CJ, not 2.
Oh, that's Bad Boy 1. Okay, you right. He was like, and you need to lay off
Tell
the
him
cold.
something, Joe.
You need to lay off the cold cuts. Sal, they seeping through your pores.
Sticking through your pores.
Tell him something.
So that's literally like it's like first 48 and some chicken nuggets was in front of him.
Oh, God.
Man. So and that's a wrap on season 2, episode 1. The North remembers. Let's swing right into episode 2, and this is our first time being introduced to Jaqen Hagar.
Jack and Hagar, yeah.
So talk to me about this, and without getting into too much of the without us getting too far ahead, talk to us about the significance of this scene and what's happening here. I'll set the stage. We are following the boys who escaped or who are headed to the Night's Watch, and Gendry is one of those, and obviously Arya is pretending to be a boy at this point, and she is one of the boys headed to the Night's Watch.
Facts. So you kind of see this scene with the prisoners. There's three prisoners. Goddamn, I can't talk, on a wagon. And one of them is, of course, who you mentioned, Mr. Jaqen Hagar. The significance right now, we don't know, but like Game of Thrones doesn't do anything by accident. So just by the scene and him being the one of the 3 prisoners that introduces himself by name, we're gonna see him again at some point. So there's some kind of significance there. Even though we don't know exactly what. And then you got the other cats in there who are clearly rapists, saying rapey things to Arya, who at that point in time they think is a boy.
Right.
So the rapey things they are saying is just wow,
Yeah.
wild shit. But
There's some pretty sick psychopathic
that's
types.
wild boys.
And maybe that's why they're actually in cages at this point. I'll be honest. I mean, and like again, I'm trying not to like warp ahead, but seeing Jaqen Hagar in a cage is interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, understanding who he is down the road, like it's very, very interesting to see him trapped somewhere.
Makes you wonder if it's intentional.
Yeah. I'm like, was he really trapped or was he strategically placed?
Let's talk about it. Yeah, I mean, like, if you want to speculate, so we can do that.
If he's in the cage with those 2 crazy dudes, and he's sitting there all cool, and he's like, "Would you get a man some water?" And the other 2 are like, "I'll,
I rip your
bunghole out and all this other stuff." And he's like, man, I'm having a conversation over here. You handle yourself over there. But because he's having a direct conversation with Arya, and she's, for whatever reason, is connecting with him. You know, maybe she's feeling trapped and looking at him in that cage and understanding how he's feeling.
Yeah.
So maybe that is part of the connection there that starts that relationship.
Killers, no killers. That's all that shit is.
Okay,
Killers,
I was
fucking
trying to
no
be all
killers.
philosophical and
Jack
shit.
and
Thank you.
Papa
Yeah.
saw a killer, and Ari was like, "Well, nigga, you a killer too." And I fucks with you. I don't fuck with your two homeboys over here because them niggas is weird, and one of
Them
these
niggas is rapey as
sharpened
fuck.
ass teeth. That nigga look like he just ready for anything. So fuck them two motherfuckers, but him, it's almost like two dudes get together. It's like, hey man, like you
You cool.
look like you know how to you look like you know how to get women. I do too. Let's kick it. That's how it is. That's essentially how it is. I don't know what it's like for women. I'm assuming it's kind of saying, you know, like, oh, okay, you like to get fucked up, whatever. I don't know. But killers, no killers. And that's what them two motherfuckers are. Killers.
Right. So as this is taking place, 2 out of the, I guess it's a City Watch.
Yeah,
or
to the
Patrol.
Gold Cloaks. Yeah, City Watch.
Gold Cloak. Okay.
Rose up.
Right. They roll up to the set and they say, hey, Arya thinks they're looking for her at this point.
She duck off so quick. Oh shit.
And
People looking for-
initially they don't say who they're looking for though, right?
No, they did.
They did. They
Well,
say
after they said it, but it was like after you know they had already been refused by
By Yoren.
recruiter.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, fucking pulling up.
The 1, 2.
Ooh, that is some nigga shit. There.
They do though. You know what I mean?
Universal, bro.
12 out there, man. They
12
watching,
out
man.
there.
Oh man.
If they would have had one of them boys run off, I would have died.
So, okay, here's my question. Why didn't they just kill them motherfuckers?
Yeah.
Like,
What,
I guess in
one?
hindsight, you don't want to because you don't want to start the smoke of, oh, where did the city commanders go that we went off to go look for the Night's Watch cavalry? But I guess in hindsight, they really just should have killed him.
Yeah.
They said they
would've
got
him.
him. They said
They
they
would
got
have
him.
probably bought him enough time to get to the wall.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because I thought old boy was going.
No, it
Maybe
wouldn't have
not.
bought them that much time though, because the boys were walking. They weren't.
That's true.
Everybody wasn't on horseback, so
Yeah, that's true. That's good.
they would have just came through and killed everybody.
Man, can you
Was,
imagine?
was this a big enough deal that if they hadn't returned, would more men have been sent out to find out why these two men haven't returned? See, like, is that a thing or?
Yeah, that's what I was saying because there's only 2 guys, so I didn't know whether or not it was like.
I just wondered if they'd have been like, man,
For
this
Cersei
nigga probably got lost in the whole house out there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to them motherfuckers.
Yeah, anybody seen Leah?
Cersei sent them. So I think it would have been a big deal if they didn't come back. And I think the guy tried to end it peacefully, and he was trying to have it be a thing where, look, go back, say you ain't find nothing. Like it ain't got to be.
But then he said as soon as he pulled off, he was like, "I'm coming back with more men." That's why I would have been like, "Hey, get these motherfuckers right."
Right. Let's go ahead and 86 them now. Yeah. Like, oh, you are. All right.
Yeah.
In that case, let us end you now. You know? Let me go and do that
You
shit.
already
All,
done took your big board and about
Right.
to cut you in the ball, so you're gonna bleed out in the next.
All
10
right,
seconds.
look,
So
they could have
what
at
you
least took
got
their
there?
horses. Like
that's what
okay,
I was
you
just about to
took-
say.
You took the swords, take them niggas' horses and make
Yeah,
them
take
fucking
the
walk
horses.
back.
Like this a
Right.
nice. These some nice horses y'all got.
We need horses and steel on the wall, my boy.
Facts.
let us hold that. This is a
Facts.
nice shoe.
The host just in case we get hungry.
So so after that,
Love that.
we moving. We back at King's Landing, and initially Varys is talking with Shay, and
Yeah.
They in
you
there
know,
kikiing like a motherfucker.
Cause Shay ain't nobody supposed to know.
They
ain't nobody
in there
supposed to know
kikiing
Shay
their
did.
ass off, Celestial.
And
I think
Tyrion
his parents
look,
up there just like this.
Tyrion walk in.
Sure.
Tyrion walk in looking a little bit pissed, a little bit. You know what I mean?
No, like Tyrion walked in, that motherfucker looking Cumbuttle found it, nigga. That nigga was like, what was this?
Why
Like,
are
what
you
if-
up in here with my
If
Right.
when Tyrion walked in, if he was like of able size, he'd have slapped the shit out of him.
Oh man,
That's what I mean. Because I mean, you think about it, like
He'd have
this
slapped
one
the
of
shit
his,
out of him.
this one of Tyrion triggers. You know what I mean? Like you see
Yeah.
it in that moment. Like he reliving that story he told.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? That motherfucker. That
Where's my
motherfucker-
bitches? Where's my
You know,
bitches?
right?
But
can't-
look at the power move though that Varys made, speaking to her in Tyrion's chambers. Like Varys
Yeah.
is a
And,
Very
and
he
good.
may
then,
not have balls, but he got balls.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so let's talk about
He
that
got some.
conversation a little bit. So,
So-
I mean, I always like the quippy conversation. Go ahead.
She's you know, I guess been locked up because Tyrion has to go out and do things in the castle and be seen and everything, and she's not supposed to be seen. But Varys knows that what comes into the palace and what goes out of the palace because he's a spider. So he shows up and they're sitting there with a big spread and eating and everything, and then they make some jokes about fish pie.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, for the double entendre, I see you. And she's like,
She
well,
said
we
she
gonna
was
make
a
him
cook.
Yeah.
and make him a fan of fish pie. Yeah.
And Shay said, "Baby, he don't even like fish pie."
Right.
He said, "I could just tell, baby. I could just tell. I know when people like my fish pie. You know what I'm saying?" And Varys don't want no pie. He don't even want none.
The whole
He
conversation
comes
was
from the ocean,
hilarious.
but he don't want no fish pie.
Tyrion said, "We'll make a fisherman out of him yet." And so, and so,
If Varys was like, if Varys turned to Tyrion, he was like, "I heard you suffered a terrible head wound."
Nigga, you must be crazy.
got knocked out on his way to the fight. You know what I mean?
Oh god.
A strange thing happened. So
that motherfucker said, to find such a beautiful creature at your father's kitchen, it almost begs disbelief.
Bruh, that nigga be quick with the shade, bro.
right.
Yo,
And that's what was so fun about that conversation to me. Is
Hey,
like,
listen,
The whole thing was shady from start to
Man.
finish.
what did Varys say when King Robert got killed about the squire and the wine? He always got some quick shade, bro. That nigga was hilarious, dog.
who was getting it to him or something when he was asking who.
Yeah.
He said something about how good.
Like go ahead.
He was talking about how good it was for the squire to give him the wine so
Yes, he
quickly.
did.
Right. Like, bro. He quick with that
It
shade.
was such a good squire to make sure your grace's cup stayed full.
Hell yeah. Like, bro.
And then Ned's dumbass is like, his head is turning and shit. Like, oh, okay.
But
God.
Varys also got some shots off, some
Yeah.
warning shots off in that conversation to let
Right.
Tyrion know.
Like,
Right.
I'm on your ass, boy.
He said it's a shame that that your father didn't want your friend to come. But he said friends are a good thing. And
I'll keep your
I keep your secret. I'll be your friend. And Tyrion said, "Look, you got me fucked." Tyrion said, "You got me fucked up. If you
When
it ain't finna be none of that dead Stark shit.
Finger on that door.
don't come up in my motherfucking house talking to me crazy, nigga.
These two motherfuckers were such great actors, man.
That
Varys
nigga
look at
Varys
that
said-
nigga like, if you don't get that fucking
niggas
finger
is
off
hard.
this door, who the fuck you think you is, nigga?
That nigga
Oh,
very
His first
Don't
put
let
his
this
finger
shit
on the
fool
door
you.
was like, but you caught what I motherfucking said, didn't
right. That nigga Varys grabbed that motherfucking moo.
That motherfucker said, that motherfucker said, Ned Stark was a man of honor. Tyrion was like, and I am not. Like, don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me, motherfucker. I can see what the fuck exactly you're doing.
That nigga, and then that nigga Varys told him, he said,
Lord
he said, you fuck with me again, I'm gonna throw your ass in the sea. He said, you might be disappointed with the results.
That's
Storm's
what
coming.
That's when he had that finger up against that door. Like,
He
he
said
had that bitch with his finger.
He said the storms come and go. The big fish eat the little fish, and I keep on.
I just keep on goddamn swimming.
Shit,
That
motherfucker.
That motherfucker got always had a last word. I
Hey,
swear to God.
I will tell
You
you,
gonna walk out with the last word.
Varys is a person who I did not appreciate the first time I watched this show.
You couldn't, bro. There's no way to
Right.
Too much
understand
going
the
on.
magnitude.
I didn't
There's no way to
appreciate-
understand the magnitude of that man the first time around. It
I
takes a
did
couple
not.
times.
Yeah,
It takes a couple times.
yeah, I did not appreciate him the first time around, but this time around, so much more. So much
Everything,
more.
everything come out of his mouth is golden.
You know what? He felt like to me. I guess I looked at him like an extra until he wasn't an extra. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right. Yeah,
sorry, my bad. You know.
He's always kind of off to the side. There's no one episode focused directly on him, but he always kind of shows up and just starts talking that fucking.
That nigga just kid, boy. He be killing me when he be acting like he giving them niggas sympathy. I'm like, boy, you is petty.
Right, like right. Very quick to be like, I'm in this shit, but don't put me in that shit.
Did that happen to you?
Parents be like,
did doubt you have no bitches? How does one have no bitches? Oh my God. Like that.
Oh shit!
Jeez, baby, bro. It's like, dog.
That motherfucker said. That motherfucker Ned Stark was like, "I wanted you to be my hero," and then Bear's like, oh, "I am no hero."
Like, you talking to the wrong one. If that's what you looking
for. Man, hey, Ned told that boy, man, you sat back and watched me and would do it again.
So okay. After that goes on, Castle Black sends a raven. Castle Black sends a raven, and they stopped killing each other and started following a king beyond the wall. So the wildlings have stopped killing each other, and they're now following the king beyond the wall.
Right.
And this letter goes to, you know, they say the cold winds are rising, and dead men are rising with them. And the small council,
they chucked it up to Grumpkins and fucking
right.
Except for like these fucking northerners.
Yeah, except for Tyrion.
Superstitious bunch they are.
Tyrion is the only one who like, man, y'all ain't listening to this shit, y'all.
Right.
Because Mormont don't play.
Tyrion was like, you have a growing talent for tearing paper up. God damn.
Right. She tearing shit up like she on Glory.
Right.
You know what I mean? When the chick ain't right.
Does she think it's gonna go away? It's like it doesn't make it any less true because you tore it up.
I don't know, man.
Right.
Seriously, you know what I mean? She gonna tear the shit up just for the fun of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
She gonna tear that shit up.
Y'all got me crying on this show.
So, all right. The nice watch, you know, have an interesting conversation about farting when you die. And then the men are lusting over the daughters. They talk about wrestling with a girl and growing up and how the wrestling changed as they grew up. One of the girls is scared of a ghost. The girl turns out to be Jilly, and Samuel shoos Ghost away from her. She's grateful for that, and Sam goof ass started making goo eyes at her.
She said, "You're so brave."
Talk to us, whoever that is. Which one? Go ahead, jump in. Talk to us about this.
No, so you're so brave, and now Sam done fell in love. So he does the cardinal rule. Of course, they're not supposed to talk to Craster's daughters or touch them, and he reaches in to touch her, and it's like, Sam, you want to die? Do you want to die?
He's like, oh, I mean, and old buddy said he'll take a hand. He touches girls, he taking a hand. Yeah. It's a hand. He taking one of them.
He already can't fight. Like, Sam, you need everything.
Right. So again, Sam is hot and ready. And
Sam got whipped through his osmosis.
Man, first of all, look.
Sam, the hottest thing in north of the wall.
Hey, but speaking of hot and ready, goddamn Ghost is finna snatch the fuck out of that meat out of Gilly's hand. That nigga got so fucking big, like nigga, they was at eye level.
Man, right.
In the face, Gilly ass was like, nigga, get your goddamn dog. You know how, like, that was some nigga shit right there. Cause she even stay, you know how niggas stay when they don't want to get bit by the dog? Like, nigga, just please don't bite me, dog. That's how Gilly ass was standing there waiting. And Sam shoot his ass off like, hey, Ghost, quit with you. Look, that was Sam's moment because he's like, this bitch don't know I know. She don't know I know the wolf.
Yeah, you don't know she not.
Get your ass on.
Get
Get your ass from over here fucking with her. You feel
Right.
me? You know?
But he tried to make his voice deeper when he said it.
He tried to put his mag down.
Voice ain't that deep.
Move. Get your ass on,
Man, y'all better let Sam do Shy Brother. You know what I mean? That's a 5 Heartbeats reference for y'all that's missing it, man. That's a 5 Heartbeats reference.
That nigga want to be somebody's stepdaddy so bad. Yeah,
But
that was rushing to be stepdaddy.
How does that one interaction turn into, man, I'm pregnant. Can you help me escape this bitch and save my baby?
Right.
Like how?
You know how? You're
Tell
so
the dick.
brave.
That's it.
It's
So-
like
Y'all, one compliment and you ready to marry the bitch.
Oh,
And-
tell the dick
He's
ass.
ready to go off.
So the
That
thing
boy
that
is
we'll learn,
tender dick.
right? So Sam, hot and ready, is basically, he finds out that Jilly is pregnant, right?
Mhm.
And she's like, I need y'all to get me the fuck up out of here, cause this might be a boy. And again, from the last episode, Jon Snow asked about what happens to the boys, and he's not, I think Samwell, is this when Samwell involves Jilly at this point in time? I mean, involves Jon Snow.
Yeah, because like he immediately comes to her like right after the shit with the wolf.
Right.
He come up to her like, "Hey, can we help this bitch?"
Right, we trying to run, like we need to help her run tonight. You know what I mean? Like
That's a fact.
Samuel Tubman up in this motherfucker.
It turned into underground immediately.
Right, Samuel Tubman and
Man.
shit. So he trying to get his run on and shit.
In the ultimate bros before hoes organization, which is the
Right.
Nice Watch, right?
And
It's
so-
the ultimate form of bros before hoes.
Right.
So
And he's breaking the code already.
Like nigga, it's a law. The bros before hoes is a law, nigga.
so at that
Like,
point,
literally.
right.
we are again kind of being led to ask what happens to the boys, what happens to the boy children, and
Oh, we'll see.
Jilly's fears obviously confirm that something does happen to the boy children.
Yeah.
Again, we return to the Dothraki. They're starving, and the horse returns with a head inside and the ponytail chopped off. And again, can y'all remind us what that means in Dothraki terms?
Yeah, they butchered his body. So one, the cutting off of the ponytail just signals the defeat. Anytime the ponytail is cut, that means they lost the battle.
Right.
So they did that just on some petty shit. Like, hey, we whooped your boy, but also cut his ponytail off because he a bitch. And then they cut him all up and dismembered his body and butchered him. So that way they basically disconnected his soul from his ancestors because his body didn't burn. So at that point, you see, what's her girl name? Njikwe. She fall down to her knees, and she is distraught because he can't ride with his ancestors in the Nightlands.
And Khaleesi promises to build a funeral pyre so that he will ride on.
White folks always think they can save somebody's culture. Girl, that is not their culture. She said that boy can't ride with the ancestors. He can't ride with goddamn ancestors.
He's talking about White Walkers, y'all. And
he ain't got no body, so how he gonna ride?
I sure am. I'm talking about them goddamn White Walkers.
Yeah, same motherfuckers that just walk around and take over everything.
They colonize bodies and stuff.
Colonize zombies.
So, yeah, man. Like, essentially, this is taking place. Is this do we know which guy this was that returned?
Yeah.
That
That
was
was
the
like
Sequoia.
to his blood of my blood.
Sequoia. Sequoia.
Yeah, that was our boy who was sort of escorting
The
her
Koi-Koi.
of the first season. But
Right.
I also forgot how limited Danny's role was in season 2, bro. Like, I forgot this was the "Where Are My Dragons" fucking season.
Yes.
This motherfucker is going around saying "Where are my dragons" like 50,000 goddamn times. It ain't a good look for your girl this season, Blaine, man. I hate to say it, bro. This is gonna be kind of a long.
Okay, I'm a grin and bear this. Goddamn, it's rough out here on the bench.
Like the writers didn't do it justice.
So they didn't stay over there too long, huh?
Yeah.
So,
No.
but she gonna get basically her whole own couple seasons, at least, or 1 or 2 seasons.
She'll be
just
listen, she'll more to make up for it.
I'm gonna stick beside her.
Right.
They were just trying to figure out how to top her walking out of that fire naked. So they were
Right.
like,
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what is we gonna do next? They had to get their CGI money up. So we gonna keep these dragons the same size.
I'm looking at little baby Drogon like, look, nigga, you ain't even right there for real.
But can't you tell? But look, can't you tell the graphics look a little better in season 2 than they did in season 1?
Oh yeah. You can see the
season,
growth.
Season 1 looked kind of like an Amazon Prime show.
Like
right,
that refund check came in. You know how niggas go to refund check.
That BT Plus.
Right. Yeah. Season 1 looked like it could kind of be on, one of them other networks. It don't really look like an HBO show. But season 2 started to look
Tubi.
Yeah, that shit was. Yeah, it was definitely
not that.
Look, let's take our asses to the Iron Islands. Are we on the way to the Iron Islands? Theon is on the ship.
Bless it. Bless it.
And Theon is the horniest nigga.
I mean, Lord have mercy. I'm not going to talk about. I can't talk about people's looks because I ain't fucking Denzel Washington over here. I'll admit that. But goddamn, like Theon will fuck any and everything.
Listen,
and then
I was mouth closed. Yeah, that's better. I was like,
oh, like nigga.
Yeah, he said, look, you smile with your mouth closed.
Perfect girl for that goddamn for that line. That Theon
smile with your mouth closed was funny as hell to me, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I was like, oh,
look, and the funny part is she sat there trying to do it.
Right.
Oh, listen. She said, take me with you. And then next thing you know, he said, look, man, I'm just gonna have to turn her around.
And that girl was in there snorting and shit.
It was like a motherfucker with fucked up teeth who you meet and they be like trying not to laugh. Like
he up in there with one leg up. Next thing you know.
Right.
So, and that's
get to tell him my daddy will say
so
and I mean when he rolls up on Pike, he's standing up in the ship coming to the port, and he's got his bling on and his pimp cape, and like somebody's supposed to be waiting for him at the dock, and ain't nobody there.
It was cringe. I had so much secondhand. Watching the entire scene, I had secondhand embarrassment.
That just says how much play he don't have.
Man,
that was Theon's homecoming. So
and that nigga pulled up at the goddamn Mississippi coast.
Right, the Iron Islands, boy.
That's what nobody out there.
The Iron Islands is some poverty, right?
The nigga pulled up at the fucking Beau Rivage.
What made it worse is how bad he talked it up to her, to the other girl.
Right,
like he talked it up like they were.
That nigga said these folks ain't had shit to get happy about in 9 years. This is a big day for these niggas.
And when I heard that shit the first time, I was like, okay, Theon, I see my boy. All right, okay.
Right.
Fucking no.
Right.
Yeah. Then who greets him at the dock? Mystery woman who winds up being his sister, and he trying to fuck her.
Touching all on her.
Right. I'm talking about. He telling her about how they're gonna be. Girl, you might even get up in here. You know what I mean? I might even let you come inside. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
You gonna get to tell your children and your grandchildren.
Man, that's some wild shit. I said Theon is on one.
That's some nigga shit. If you tell a motherfucker that your grandkids gonna remember that night, I mean,
bruh. But listen though,
that was the niggerest of nigga shit.
We might want to steal that line one day.
Why did she let him do that?
I don't know.
Because she wanted to know who he was, and he wasn't shit. And so she just let him go on being not shit.
I'd have had to went on, stop him at that moment and be like, hey, I'm your sister. You nasty motherfucker.
Right.
You a bitch. I already got out on you. I'm going to tell your daddy.
I'm talking about.
But, you sometimes you got to let it roll all the way out. So you be like,
not that.
You ain't shit.
Theon was wild.
Not my sibling feeling me up. We ain't going to let that ride.
Right. Theon rubbing
on one. And just his whole look, his demeanor though, like his body language, his whole look, like
I honestly think it was
cringe.
playing into because the rest of the season she talked to him like he ain't shit.
Oh yeah,
I
she
think it
definitely
was
played
her
into
playing
it.
into
Oh,
you
yeah.
really ain't shit, but I'm gonna let you have this moment.
He
She
gonna say,
immediately, like when, the moment she walks up on him on the fuck when he's on the little dock or whatever, like she
Right.
already on some. Oh, this nigga think he this. Come on,
Right,
my friend,
right.
Lord Greyjoy. Come on, nigga, I got a horse for your ass.
She
Come
like-
on.
right. And he like, you
he
should,
always talking about
bring
he
my stuff
jumped
up to
right
the house.
into it.
you should let me ride.
Right
You should
into that
let, you
fucking
should
ride.
let me ride. You know what I mean? You should let me.
I've
And,
been
and,
riding, nigga.
you
I
know what I
ride
mean?
horses, nigga.
and she like, if you keep this up, we're going to be in the sea. He like, shit, you know, I'm trying to get wet any motherfucking way. What's that?
You ain't said nothing but a thing.
You ain't saying nothing but a word, Negro.
They said nothing. We was gonna do that anyway.
Oh, it was so bad.
So,
And then it got worse when he was talking to his dad. Because he's now you talk about some batshit crazy. That man,
yes,
ugh.
Yes.
Balon Greyjoy. That,
right,
he's
So we
cuckoo
can-
beyond cuckoo.
right.
And then she strolls in
Oh, y'all crazy.
and he's
Wait,
like, I
you
told
wanna
you
go
to wait outside.
Now
And she
that was
goes to
funny.
stand beside her daddy.
Y'all crazy.
Like, what you gonna do?
Right.
You know, and that cracks his face. Now his father's already ripped off his pimp chain and his cape, his James Brown cape.
Right.
And like you coming in here like you somebody from
Yeah.
you know from your new owners
Right.
trying to make us bow down to them.
Mhm.
And yeah, his father's so while
And,
they like he's crazy,
Yeah.
he's right. But he
Like,
so,
do you pay for
And I
it?
mean,
The
and
iron,
all,
the
and
iron
all
will
of
to
this
go.
dialogue
Yeah,
at this
right.
point is like this everything that's being said and done at this point. It seemed like kind of minor, especially like the first time through. But like all this stuff that's being said is supremely significant in the grand scheme of things. Like Theon has one of the deepest character arcs, not only on the show but in the book as well. They really do a good job, I think, of coinciding that with his character development. But like the shit that's being said to him now is gonna shape literally the next couple of episodes with Theon.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And you can just see it be, you know, the training of the Starks being stripped away, just
Yeah.
being stripped away, just being stripped away. And
After
so
the years
then
of
it's like
development, right? Yeah.
Ironborn, you know.
Yeah, after
Well,
the years of hard work
No.
of making this person into someone who is
Yeah.
a respectable
Honorable.
human being.
And you
Right.
have somebody that doesn't know. Theon has never known who, like, even with being a ward of the Starks, he's never known who he was.
Right.
Because he over there, he's trying to be a Stark, but I'm not a Stark. I'm a
Mhm.
Greyjoy. Now I'm back over here with my dad. Now I'm trying to figure out how to be a Greyjoy, but I've never been taught how to be a Greyjoy. I've been taught how to be a Stark, but I was never a fucking Stark. Like, so it's you had this
Right.
dynamic, and you can really see that shit tearing him as a character.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And
definitely,
I
because-
don't know the actor's name, but I think he did a real good job of really
that's Alfie.
showing that
Yeah.
shit.
Alfie, that's Alfie. Yeah, that's
Yeah, he kills that shit, like really.
Yeah.
because every time he's with the Starks, he gets reminded he's a Greyjoy. Every time he was with the Greyjoys, he was reminded that he was a Stark.
Yeah, that's Alfie Allen. That's Lily Allen's brother.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh.
hey, yeah, Lily
So,
Allen. She
yeah,
made a
he's
song
on,
about Alfie.
he's on the other series, SAS Rogue
Mm-hmm.
Rogue Soldiers or something like that.
Mhm.
About World War II and how the SAS was founded in England.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That show is crazy. They do some wild shit on that show too, but that's another story for another time. I'm sorry.
Okay, Mother of Sweet
All
Truth.
right, check it out. All right, look, we finna go back over here to what. Look, we back in King's Landing, and the hoes is sad. I mean, they sad.
Oh,
CJ.
Like,
Trifling.
It ain't no hoes in the house. We can't sing the song
I'm
tonight.
for real, man. Like they is crying because
Tap into his pretty Tony. Let him cook, y'all. Let him cook. You better tap into his pretty Tony.
no, this is a sentimental moment, man. I'm just empathetic. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Like,
go.
you know, I
Okay,
ain't,
go. My fault,
this-
my fault.
I
I
ain't
just
gonna,
want to do Littlefinger. That's all I got to say.
yeah, well, yeah.
Now,
Now
that
he,
big nigga
now
finger.
that-
That's what that motherfucker came.
that motherfucker turned into Goldie. Like that
He
nigga,
rolled up on her. He was like, "Listen,
baby,
here,
you
bitch."
gotta believe him. Right.
He was like, "Listen, here, bitch. You doing all this crime?
Look
You
at the
running
lip.
all the money out the whole house. Set that shit the fuck up."
That's pretty much in summary. That's pretty much how it went. He said, "Look, I can't make no money with bitches crying. You know."
He
Like,
said, "Do you know what happened the last time?"
Right. Like that's some cold shit to say, right? You remind me.
Let me tell you a
He was
little
like,
story.
you remind me of somebody.
A little bedtime story.
A bad bitch.
Let him cook. Let him cook. Come on,
You
CJ.
remind me of a bad bitch. Make a lot of money. Well, she used to. And one day she just, for whatever reason, she stopped being a good investment. And I had to make a business decision, baby. So a rich nigga pulled up. A rich nigga pulled up and asked me, "Can I transform this bitch's life?"
CJ.
And I said, "Well, let me think on it.
Let him cook.
Let me think on it." I thought on it, and he transformed that bitch's life.
Let him cook.
Not necessarily in the way that perhaps she had hoped. I won't say she was happy about it, but goddamn it, my pockets were. Now you take a day.
Let the nigga cook.
And tomorrow,
What's gonna happen tomorrow?
you get out there
You're gonna be happy.
You gonna be happy
and be
What's
happy
gonna happen tomorrow?
and make
You gonna
everybody
come
happy.
back and bring your
So
You
my
get
pockets
one day
can be happy.
bereavement, and then
I need you to be happy, baby.
I need you to be happy,
She
baby.
was like,
And Roz was like,
smile.
"I'm gonna be happy, Big Daddy." Like I'll be happy tomorrow.
Like, okay,
Like,
Big
I
Daddy.
don't send me to no rich niggas to transfer. Like and
And
so
sing. Thank you,
Yes.
CJ, for your audition.
And y'all want to know the
I like to
moral of
thank
the
the
story and
Academy.
all of that shit? You want to know the moral of the story?
talk to us. What is it?
Do not kiss the bitches at the whole house.
So gross. It was
Bruh.
so
Man.
Oh my God, bro. That was a
That-
whole nother level of extra, dog. They didn't even have
The first
they,
time.
they didn't even have to do that. They just wanted to do that.
Right, just some
was
some ad shit. Just be like,
I'm
you know
talking
what?
about,
Just throw
hey,
this shit in there.
when she went and opened her mouth and kissed that man.
Ooh, and he kissed back.
And he was like, "Bet."
Oh, you done brought me a
It's-
bad bitch.
it's-
Okay,
it's-
It's a baby.
Oh, she liked me.
It's different in the whole house, baby. It's different. You know what I
Man.
mean?
Oh,
Oh, my
man.
God.
I mean that he over there eating
Boy.
snowballs.
Oh
So
my God.
Oh God, it was
They
so
did not come
gross.
So-
from the green. They did not come from the green snowball stand.
Hey, look,
But
man.
one more thing I want to say about Roz. Since she's been there, she has been on the come up. So she's like semi-management now. So she
Yeah.
works sometimes, and then when he's not there, she's the manager in charge.
Oh, she's
So-
definitely a team lead.
Assistant to the manager. Yeah,
She's a
she's
team
Not a
lead.
team lead.
Yeah, assistant to the manager. She's definitely Dwight.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely Dwight. All right,
Ah.
cool,
Oh,
man.
I'm in charge.
It's hard out here for a pimp.
Y'all
Uh,
stupid.
When you
I'm
got
in
to get
charge.
the money for the rent.
Can I say further? So anyway,
Hold on, Celestial, I need you to zoom in again. That's
Yo, that shit was so fucking funny.
Look at it. Quit all that goddamn crying, okay? Like,
quit all that crap.
Hey, that nigga
Oh,
put his hand. Y'all notice he had that hand on her shoulder the whole time, like being empathetic while
he
threatening
pulled
this
up real
bitch's life.
concerned.
While threatening this bitch's life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just like,
like your mama would do you in church. Like
He
all you
said-
see is the hand, but it's slowly just pressing down. Like nigga, if you
He
want-
said, "Take PTO today. Be here on time tomorrow.
Damn.
Ain't no crying and pimping, baby.
Oh,
Ain't no crying and pimping."
oh, he was
this nigga
smooth
still,
with it.
this
I
nigga
was
still
like,
in character.
I'm sorry that it's hard to get out. I am a
This
a
nigga
character
is a
actor.
fucking. This
I'm a
nigga
character
is
actor. I'm
fucking
in the
Daniel
zone.
Day-Lewis.
You
This
know what I
nigga,
mean?
Daniel Day-Lewis, the black
Hey, look.
exploitation.
I'm over here slapping shit in my mind. You know what I mean? Like I gotta chill myself.
You gotta
CJ,
get out
you're
of
a
character,
method
man.
actor, darling.
Okay.
You're a method actor,
Come on,
most
like, get
definitely.
That's right. I'm and sing. So now we getting into Podrick is pouring the wine. He almost pours the shit over. We're
I love
talking
this
about
part.
orders being orders is what, because Tyrion is asking Cersei, like, what happened? Who ordered this? And at some point he realizes that this was not Cersei's doing,
Right.
at least not in our version of this Game of Thrones world. Can y'all talk to me about the significance of the conversation that's taking place and what
Wait,
that back
you
and
can
forth
jump
was?
real far.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did
Oh, I
you?
did. Sure.
This is where Tyrion talks to
Yeah,
Jordan.
The Jordan's like.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah.
It's Lord Janos. You're right.
Yeah, to
Janos.
And
Okay,
they're
talk to us
having-
about that. You're right.
They're
You're right.
having dinner.
Sorry, y'all. Yeah. So
This
they're
scene-
talking about orders, and so can y'all talk to me about that scene with Lord Janos? I set it back up again. My
Oh, wait,
bad. I was confused.
which scene is this? This
like
was
this at the dinner table.
This was
Yeah.
James
like this
Slade,
at dinner
the
table.
Lord.
James
The current head of the City Watch and Tyrion
Okay,
are having a
yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
Tyrion
yeah,
is
yeah,
trying
yeah,
to
yeah.
figure out who the hell ordered the killing of babies.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I think
Like-
even more so than the significance of trying to figure out who put that word out for the killing. I mean, obviously that was important. That was on his list, but even more important than that, what Tyrion was trying to do was out James Slynn as the nigga that had already turned on Ned. You know, for him, that was about getting him the fuck out the way, putting Bronn in place so he could have somebody that he trusted.
And Tyrion is cleaning house.
Right. He had to have somebody there that he could trust to run the City Watch. Because in essence, the City Watch was who was a protector of everybody that wasn't the fucking king.
He was
And
so slick with
this
it.
is Tyrion. Like, go ahead, Slush. I'm sorry.
No. I just want to say he was slick with it. I like the way he talked to old boy, but he could talk to old boy like that because he knew he had Bronn over there on the side.
Exactly. He had Bronn on the side, like sort of waiting in the wings. But also, this was like Tyrion, what Belair was talking about cleaning the house, but also showing that this motherfucker is completely different from Ned Stark, right? Like he knows the players around King's Landing,
and he is there to play the game.
He's there to play. And he enjoys playing the game.
Ned had zero interest in playing the game.
Meanwhile, Tyrion courts it. He relishes in it, and he knows the players, and he's studying everybody. Even
that nigga trying to get MVP.
Goddamn right. Right.
And then you have Janos Slint, who is creepy, and he's almost braggadocious about going out and doing what the king said and killing these babies.
But you can tell he's very
Baratheon
proud of his
bastard.
station. You can tell he is very proud of his station and what he has accomplished as far as being an ain't shit nigga and getting to where he is at because of not being a not shit nigga. So
and he's
completely comfortable in that role.
And he aligned himself up with the person that made him essentially rich, right? And because initially when we were first introduced to him, he seemed to be a little bit more like upstanding or not barred or not in the pockets of Cersei just yet. But I mean, once we got around, obviously, to episode 8 when Ned was trying to commit treason essentially, he like we saw who he was bought by, but Tyrion had some fucking lines in this fucking dinner table, bro.
Yeah.
When that motherfucker said, what he said, are you questioning my honor? Yep. The fucker said, I'm not questioning your honor. I'm denying this existence.
Yeah, he has some lines.
This, my boy.
He has some lines in it. And he was like, and he called Ned Stark, he was like a fool. He had no idea you already bought. So I mean, it's like just shit like in the conversation turned a whole 180 real quick on Janis. And you could tell that Janis, it was just way above his fucking intellect to where he knew that he was getting, he didn't even have no idea that this was a trap and he was getting set up. Now, what Tyrion should have done was kill that motherfucker, but whatever, send him to the nice, fine, whatever. But at the same time, Tyrion was a real nigga. That's one of the few things that I wish that he, I mean, obviously he's the good guy out of the show, so I get it, but and then the question at the end to ask his buddy Bronn, would he have killed the kid or the baby? And he's essentially said, for how much? So
he said, would you have killed him without question? He said no.
No, not without question.
I would have asked how much.
I would have asked how much. And so that puts you into not only who you know, Bron is, but he's a product of this environment, which is this cutthroat ass environment, and it's either eat or get eaten. Good shit.
Facts.
Okay, so after that, we are going back to the woods.
The woods.
And
The woods.
Hot Pie and Gendry are talking to. They're all talking about what it's like to be in a battle with Arya. And
Did you call that nigga Pie Pie? Hot Pie.
Hot Pie.
Oh, okay.
H-O-T Pie.
Why you call that nigga Hot Pie, man? I was Pie Pie. I was like,
they're having a conversation about being in battle, and you know it's just a little children's conversation. And Gendry is like, "Yo, you don't have to be. I mean, like any motherfucker can have armor. Like I used to make armor, and any motherfucker can buy it. So you don't, that doesn't mean that you are in battle, and it doesn't mean that you are a knight or a warrior. So he and Arya, Genji and Arya begin to have a conversation, and he discloses to Arya that he knows that she's a girl, and he was like, "I ain't as stupid as the rest of them. I know you a girl." And she like, "You can't tell nobody that." And she discloses that she is actually Arya Stark to him. And so at this point in time, y'all, did he disclose, or did she disclose to him what she was speculating about who he was? Or
no, he said that Lord Aaron had come to see him and then was dead a few weeks later, and then Lord Stark came to see him and then he was dead a few weeks later, and he didn't understand why. And he, you know, didn't necessarily understand why the Gold Cloaks were looking for him.
Yeah. And that's when they got into the, oh, you're a girl. Yes. And then what girl are, well, she told him that she's Arya Stark and so on and so forth. So.
Right.
Yeah, she didn't tell him what she was thinking, but I think she was starting to kind of connect the dots.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, who your people is? Who your mama?
Right, exactly. Who your mama is?
Because he tells her that John Aaron had come looking for him, and then Ned came looking for him. Did he say something? Somebody else came looking for him after that?
No, after that, then that's when the Pharaoh sold him to Yoren to go to the wall.
Right. So
to get him out of town, because he knew who he was.
Right. So there you go. Like, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. And he starts calling Arya my lady.
Yeah.
After that, and she like, motherfucker, don't call me that. Call me Aaron.
Yeah, like, but you see the relationship building between the two. I mean,
right.
Obviously, to
and he promised her that her secret is. Yeah. He promises her that her secret is safe.
Yeah. So you see that relationship build, and it's going to develop over the.
Right.
Not Arya, no. Oh.
we back at the
sweet child. Fucking Arya.
Don't think about it. Don't think.
Yeah, I'm trying not to. I just thought about it. It actually just thought about the shit. I didn't even think about the fucking that part.
We back at the Iron Throne. Yeah, I mean not the Iron Throne, but the fucking
Iron Islands.
Iron Islands. And
we back at fucking Biloxi.
No, that's like Peeler Hatchet, man.
Oh my God.
We're back at Mobile, Alabama.
We in Hot Coffee, Mississippi.
Oh Lord.
and this is when Theon is talking to Balon, whatever. Balon. And this is when he like, hey, look, I'm your only son. You need to let me run this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's time for me to take over the family business. He like, man, you all get your pretty ass and sit down somewhere with all that motherfucking flashy shit on.
Right. Nigga, you got on a skirt.
Did you buy that shit the iron way, or did you buy that shit the other way?
Right, iron and gold.
Right, so he stripped him of all of that shit. He like, take that shit off in my house, man. Like, you can't be walking around with that shit on. And then he sees this girl, the girl that took him in, walking to, and he like, man, didn't I tell you stay your ass outside? And Balin looks at her like, oh, there she is. And she hugs him, or they don't fucking hug. They don't, our island people ain't hugging.
She goes and
I mean, they
stands
kind of
beside him
embrace.
like, I'm the man.
Put it on.
Yeah. She stands next to him. Yeah, it becomes very clear that Yara is his sister. And, you know.
And then he was set up the whole fucking time. I mean, you should have known that shit. I would have been like, fuck both of y'all niggas. I'm out.
Right. So now Theon's standing there with the I8 ass face. You know what I mean?
And she says the best line. She says, anything with the cock is easy to fool. And there you go.
Carlton, we from Mississippi, so it's okay. We can do it. It's this the home team, baby.
I can't talk about that. Right, I'm talking about my own self, my brother.
Yeah, no, we know what it is, baby. Like, we was baptized in dirty water.
I'm here now.
Cadillacs on 22.
I am reporting live from Gulfport.
Right. You know what I mean? We from that, dog. We from that.
If some fucking hubcaps came rolling around restaurants, I'll talk about Hattiesburg. Right? Yeah, that's what we do.
So they have this conversation, and in the conversation, essentially, he determines that Yara is going to lead the attack in the ships, and they're not going to align themselves with the Starks, because that's who Theon presumes that they would align themselves with. And he was like, the Starks will, destroy you if you don't align yourself. He was like, I ain't worried about the damn Starks. Who said I was, worried about the Starks at all? And I don't know if that means that he's intending to align himself with the Lannisters, or if he just ready to fight every motherfucker about it. I don't know. What does that mean?
I mean, well, without giving it away.
Okay. Fuck it. Don't even worry about it. We'll talk about that part later. You know what I'm saying? So,
what that
right. What that means? So you're right. So let's take it. Go ahead.
Thing that Theon says, but she's a girl. She can't lead. She can't command. And Balon has to tap him back. Like, she's been leading men for all these years. You kill men. That's out of pocket.
Mm-hmm.
She got the respect of the men. Right. She know how to handle her business. What you doing? Mm-hmm. And got to put him down.
That's right.
It's like he's literally been number 7 in a line of Starks, and then a Snow, and then it's Theon. Yeah. So for him to have the audacity to think that he can lead anybody is
right.
Yeah.
I mean, so they definitely, everybody is sunning Theon already. So everybody, you know what I mean? Yeah. Even the dude that he was trying to get the damn horse to ride up the damn mountain was like, yeah, bro, whatever, man.
I mean, where the money at, nigga?
Give me some motherfucking, where them coins, where them dollars at? R.I.P. Gangsta. So I for real, I love Gangsta.
What them dollars
at? That's what dollars at. Right? Got a shout out. And so
in my pocket.
We take it. I don't. Where are they beyond the wall? I don't know how to refer to where the fuck Davos and them are.
No, they were in Dragonstone.
Dragonstone.
Okay, so we taking it back. So we taking it back to Dragonstone, and now Davos is negotiating with Salvador, the first nigga in Westeros.
That's goddamn Valerian's boy, man. Valerian, take that shit over, bro.
It's my nigga Salvador, man. I want to fuck it.
This the first black I seen in Westeros, right? Yeah, he like, look, I'll give you 30 ships if I can fuck Cersei.
I want some of that queen pussy.
And Buddy was like, Cersei ain't gonna let you take that pussy. He said, nigga, I ain't saying nothing about taking that pussy. I'm just trying to fuck that pussy.
I said that was before.
He kind of got like a little French accent. Right. I don't know. I want to rape her. Right. You said, I want to fuck here.
I want to fuck here.
said, damn.
Hey, he looked at her. He said, "You don't know how persuasive I can be."
I mean, so right. The first nigga
That
in
old son was
Westeros,
like, "Nigga."
the first nigga in
Right.
Westeros, and that nigga can be bought with alabaster box. And so, like, come on, bro.
No, sir.
Like, he like, look, he
that
like,
mama
I can
said-
promise you riches, and I can promise you, you know, some property and shit, but I can't promise you, seriously, vagina, dog. Like,
Right, like
he
that
like-
motherfucker.
That nigga Salvador, like, you ain't got to promise. I'm gonna get that anyway, my boy.
yeah, like, look, I don't,
Right, exactly. Don't
he
worry.
like, just let me get the king.
I got
Landing.
me.
Yo, Carter Patterson, you are right, my brother. Nigga, shit.
So the purpose of that conversation is they trying to get 30 ships, right, to ride on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ride on. He says you'll be the richest man in life, at least however the fuck you say that shit.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they just trying to build up Stannis' fleet and army.
Yeah,
He ain't
damn
got
right.
shit.
Yeah.
But they
Like
but they-
literally every army has more men than Stannis' army.
right, and they pirates, so they don't trust each other. So
Right.
Davos doesn't really believe he doesn't believe in the Lord of Light. He essentially just has an allegiance to Stannis, right?
Yep.
And he's having a conversation with who is he having that conversation with? Is that his son?
His
Or
son.
Yeah,
Yeah,
his son.
that's his son.
His
Okay.
son rides for the Lord of Light.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm ready
yeah.
to die for this shit, Daddy.
And he said
Yeah.
he
So
said
let me
Yeah.
tell you.
Let me tell you about a story.
Davos is
Let me
like,
tell you about this nigga name. Go ahead.
Yeah, y'all see what you call it told his ass.
Yeah, Melisandre whispered in his ear that it's what pure to die by fire. To
Death
die by fire is the
death by
purest
fire
death.
is the purest death.
Pure as
Mhm.
death. Yep.
Well, hey,
Huge foreshadow. Huge.
Mm.
goddamn,
Hey,
nigga,
Bucko.
old hack.
Might
About 69,
want
baby.
to stay away from the fireplace, Bucko.
Don't
Hey.
light up that joint.
Not Bucko.
Bucko.
Oh.
I want to stay away from that fire, my boy.
Don't do it,
So-
my boy.
We coming around the home stretch, y'all.
mhm.
Okay.
So again, this conversation is taking place between
Tyrion.
And so-
between
And-
Tyrion Wright and now he's talking to Cersei, right?
mhm.
Yes.
And he says
Mhm.
we're losing the city people, and Cersei like I don't give a fuck about the city people.
Facts.
And he like it's hard to rule a million people if they want to kill you. You know what I mean? And y'all out here killing kids and shit.
Mm.
People don't like that. So he asked her, you know, like who ordered this and how did this go down? And they begin to have a conversation. So talk to us about that conversation, y'all. Y'all still there? Goddamn. Not all at once, my niggas. Like, fuck it. I'll talk about the conversation. so essentially, Joffrey didn't tell Cersei that he was going to be killing babies and killing all these kids and shit like that. He goes out and and Joffrey said, I'm doing what needed to be done and I'm ripping it out by the root. So
I think it was interesting that Tyrion caught very quickly when he said it to Cersei. She didn't know anything about it. And before she could mask that, he caught it just that quick. I was like, oh.
That's
So
why I
that's
love
the way he was
scenes
talking.
with
Like
both of
he's
them.
making decisions without you now. Like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So he kind of like, oh, he's coming.
Oh,
into
bitch, you done lost control, ain't it?
right. So and then
you the one that got all them bad ass kids, huh?
and now keep in mind the last time we saw them talk, it ended with Tyrion hitting her with jabs. So now we starting this conversation with Tyrion hitting her with jabs, but then she goes to the ultimate low spot.
Man,
And
they
then
be
starts
leaving my
going
boy
in on
quiet
him
with that
about the fact that, you know,
That's that emotional shit, man.
yeah, their mother died giving birth to him. She was like, "Oh, you always were funny."
boy, that shit, you being a funny little nigga.
Also,
Yeah.
she had to do that because he's in a sense knocking her mothering. Your son is out here murdering his. Well,
Right.
they're really not his brothers and sisters.
Mhm.
His half, not even half, shit, his step brothers and sisters. And your mothering is just as bad, even though you love your kids
Mm.
as much, so on and so forth. So she had to like throw some shade to Tyrion somehow because he's been checking her.
Shade, she threw the
Ultimate Trump
goddamn
card,
tree.
bro.
She threw the tree at that nigga.
Right.
She said the
She
biggest
came back
joke you
hard.
the biggest joke you ever killed pulled was killing my motherfucking mama when you was born.
Killing my
Like,
mama at the
Ripping her
womb.
apart.
Like,
In the
ooh,
womb.
that is hey,
Out the womb. I was like,
that is
God
that
damn.
is the epitome of when they go low, we go to the bottom of the motherfucking ocean. Like,
As
When
Liz-
they go
as-
low, we go to
to the
hell.
Mariana
we,
Trench, as
we go
Leslie,
to Mariana Trench. Well, yeah,
Mariana
we go to
Trench,
that
that's
motherfucker.
as Leslie says. So,
Mhm.
so I mean,
Oh,
like,
God.
nigga, that's you know what I mean. She's a habitual line stepper. She the
habitual line stepper.
line stepper of the year, Cersei Lannister, ladies and gentlemen.
That bitch live on the line.
Yeah, she's never not on the line.
That bitch
Yeah,
live
nah,
on.
right. She's staying on that motherfucker all
And
day.
don't care.
Mm-mm.
So after that, you know, that's the end of that conversation. You know, obviously that cut Tyrion pretty deep to know that level of nastiness exists. And I mean, he knows
Even
that
though
about
it
his
shouldn't. He should be
Right.
like, well,
He knows that
bitch,
about his
fuck
sister.
you.
Right.
I ain't got shit to do with that.
Right.
I mean,
Like, you know, I couldn't help
what
it.
you want me to do?
I ain't know her ass anyway.
Right.
God.
Oh shit.
No.
So we go back to Dragonstone, and Davos enters the room to inform that Salvador's son will join the fleet with 30 ships, and that Stannis said that in his experience, pirates prefer fighting unarmed men. He asked Davos, does he trust Salvador's son? And Davos responds, "Oh, I've known this motherfucker for 30 years. Absolutely not."
That's why I fuck with Davos, boy.
He said, "Absolutely." He said, "Absolutely not." But he'll do what's necessary for the money. You know what I mean? Like, as long as you got the money, he'll
be there.
Right.
Right.
And so then they send everybody out the room at that point, I think, right?
Yep.
And that's when Melisandre, I'm sure Leslie wants to talk about this part a little bit. Leslie, if you like to.
Is he okay over there? Is he all right?
I
You
think
know?
he's looking at
I'm
Celeste.
sorry. It's sunshine.
That boy looking up at
That's
that
sunshine.
So can you
tell him
talk?
I ain't never coming home?
Can y'all talk to us a little bit about what's taking place here? What's happening here? Because I think
it's a good fuck.
I think Stannis's faith is wavering
all over that goddamn painted table. And nigga Aegon the Conqueror is rolling over in his fucking grave.
Man, what you talking about?
Like on the painted table, dog. Get off my nigga's table.
It's painted now.
Shit.
Go ahead and paint it before. Shit, it's
Oh
Little
man.
singles handkerchief
Nigga,
and dabbed up.
Aegon is rolling over
It's
in
spray
his grave,
painted.
nigga. Rhaenyra,
there you go. Hey,
Rhaenyra
that
is
part,
rolling over in her grave, nigga.
right?
You know what though? I mean, like you know, it's funny. You know, somebody came in that room afterwards, like, yo, get down up in this motherfucker.
Oh, that's why they call it Dragonstone.
It smelled like
burnt fish in here.
I was about to say, does her stuff smell burnt?
It smelled
like
like
burnt fish in here.
Oh no, man. Listen, you know,
how to be a player. You know, the ghost of Bernie Mac came from there talking shit.
Oh, and she was talking about his wife so bad, like, oh, you don't want her stinking ass. You got her up in the, you got her funky ass in the dungeon. You better come over here and get this sweet boys.
That bitch say she is sick. She is weak. She hasn't given you anything.
I'm talking about. She said I give you a son, and he was like, oh shit, that's all you had to say.
And he was like,
You ain't said nothing but a word, Negro. Shit. I mean,
Nigga,
oh, sorry.
that boy spent his load before he had his britches down. Like,
boom.
damn.
Next thing you know, man.
That nigga was stiff. He was like, like he was skiing.
So he shot up the club. And so you know what I mean?
So Stannis is
Right
a
there.
3-pump chump. So
Right. Paint a table is done for. You know what I mean? All the little soldier men that was on there, the little ship.
Aegon is rolling over his fucking grave.
Right, they knocked all that shit off the
Road was
table.
great.
But I feel like, yeah,
This
you know,
changed
so
the
they knocked all that shit off. After that, we go back to the incest camp,
Yeah,
and so
Crested Creek.
Crastus Creek.
Yeah,
that's right.
Crastus Creek. Yeah.
So tell
Yeah,
tell
club.
us. All right, set this
So
up.
White
For,
Creek-
set this up. What happens at Crastus Creek that night? Because the shit was dark. The shit
Yeah,
was dark
so
like Driftmark.
yeah, so John was on watch, and so that's who you come up behind. And he's about to be sleeping, and he noticed something is creeping in the woods, you know, going around, and he's like, "What is that?" And he hears the baby, and he knows that a baby was born since they've been there, and he sees that it's Craster, and so he starts following him through the woods, and he has his sword out. He doesn't know what's going on. He's following him, and Craster goes way out from the camp and puts the baby down, and the baby's crying. And John is about to, I guess, go pick up the baby, and Craster comes around the other way and knocks him in the face and knocks him out, and screen goes black.
Yeah.
Because
So
again, John is sticking his damn nose in where it don't belong.
and I mean the baby, I'm assuming, is a boy baby at this point.
Yes.
Of course.
Are we like? And it sounds like a creature. Like this don't sound normal. Whatever.
Oh shit! When you see it, you can see the eyes. Like you can see the blue
Yeah.
eyes. It's
Okay.
only brief. It's very brief, but when he picks the baby up and looks up, you can see the dark blue eyes. So you already know it's a White Walker. You kind of hear it in the footsteps and shit.
So he feeding the White Walkers. He feeding the kids to the White Walker.
He's sacrificing
That's
them
the
bitches.
country
At
I'm
this point,
saying.
we don't know why, but he's sacrificing them hoes.
Yeah, like, and for that sacrifice, they allow him to sit there and
and live,
there.
and live
sit
and
there
be
and fucking
and
do
exist.
what the
So
fuck
there
he
you-
be doing.
So this is very, very significant. Like in this moment, like there's an acknowledgement of not only what's happening to the little baby boys, but that this Cresta knows that this motherfucker is out here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's helping to build the army of the dead.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what that's
At this point, let me ask you this: first time watching this, do we know that? Do we get that understanding the first time through?
No.
No, I didn't
Well,
know
I thought
that.
they were eating the babies. Because
I thought they was-
how do you feed a White Walker baby?
Sure.
What do they eat? Like ice? I mean,
Do they eat? Do they need to eat?
frozen breast milk?
Do they need to
What do they
eat?
eat?
Like since they already
I don't think they
dead?
need to
Like
eat, 'cause I don't think they need to sleep. They just be
They don't
walking
do
around.
they just
I mean,
be
what's
just-
the progression of their age? Do
They
they
just-
age?
That's
right,
the
like
good.
they just be interior decorating with guts for no reason.
They
dog.
just
Just like
interior decoration.
ooh, I'm gonna put a nice booty chair over here. It's gonna be made of nothing but asses. Wilding ass. You know what I mean? Some of the finest wilding ass.
Oh my God.
Got it fresh.
Wilding ass.
Like they just decorating with asses, you know?
That Asha good.
Right. You know what I mean? So I mean essentially that's a wrap on season 2, episode 2. Again, y'all, we got real important something that y'all need to know. For y'all who love what we do with Watch Them Thrones and Rewatch Them Thrones, Tuesday. Uncle Corliss is in the building. That's Steve Toussaint,
Yep.
the actor who plays Lord Corliss.
The real
on
corner shop.
House of the Dragon
House of the Dragon.
will be present with Watch Them Thrones at Tuesday at noon. Okay, Tuesday at noon Central.
Noon Central.
No,
Yeah,
sir.
1
noon
1
Central.
p.m. Eastern.
We will be
Yeah,
posting about it. That we scheduled it on the on Black with No Chaser page on Facebook. We're gonna stream it on YouTube. We're gonna stream it on all of the streams that we stream on Twitter. Everywhere that we can stream it, we're gonna stream it. But we want y'all to pull up. We want y'all to have questions.
Nigga,
It's
I'm
gonna be
leaving
a
work.
good
Fuck
time.
my job.
Man,
Hey,
that-
anybody who needs a meeting request, just PM me. I'll send you a meeting request so you can
That's what
block
I'm
it out.
talking
Yeah, she's a team lead. Like she knows.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm a manager. Thank you.
Oh.
there you go. So look, boom.
Oh, she's project manager. She's PM.
Celeste got you on that. Y'all need to take y'all PTO, like Littlefinger said. You know what I mean? Like Littlefinger told you to do, Rise.
Take your one day and then be happy.
That's right. Take
There you
your
go.
one day so you can be happy,
There
and then
you
you're
go.
gonna go back to work tomorrow, and you're gonna make that money. All right.
This nigga.
So this is what we're doing.
How
And
this
the
nigga
other
turn into
thing,
Goldie again? All of a sudden? Like, what
the
the
other
fuck is
thing I
that?
need y'all to do, I need y'all to do this right now. Pull out your phones right now. Pull out your motherfucking phones. I need you to go to your app store, whether it's an Android or an Apple phone, and I need you to type in Black with No Chaser Radio. Black with No Chaser Radio.
Oh, look at you, team lead.
Black with No Chaser
We
Radio.
don't do
and I need you
Androids.
to download.
Right.
I need you to download Black with No Chaser Radio app.
The only fucking
Download the Black with No Chaser Radio app tonight. Do that and let 2 other people know to download that shit.
On all your devices.
Because we are bringing our material to our stage very soon to do it our way.
Amen.
All right, y'all. Look, we did this shit for 2 hours. I be talking a long time when it be me hosting. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize. But this shit was fun with y'all tonight. Y'all motherfuckers are funny. And so I be trying to stretch that shit out, man. I'm finna watch The Last of Us because Leslie and Carlton have been talking about it.
It's time to get into that. I'm about to go watch that shit right now.
Yeah.
I'm on the second episode.
That's another shit that we should think about.
We need to start covering that shit.
Okay. So
it's that good.
Yeah, so I'm with it.
HBO has done it again.
Well, there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
Oh, you see?
Got it up, y'all.
Oh, hold on, Celeste. I'm finna solo you. So they can see that. Boom, Celeste with all the close-ups tonight. BWNC Radio. Black with No Chaser Radio. Black with No Chaser Radio. Download that shit, please, y'all. Support us. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all so much. Tuesday, it's going down. It's gonna be our biggest moment in our House of the Dragon, Watch Them Thrones history. Right, like
Carlton said, y'all please be on y'all best behavior.
Oh
right,
shit!
Like, look, listen, we gonna
do something.
Carlton, we gonna cut up a little bit, man.
I'm from around the way.
Lord Carlos, and look, Lord Carlos done seen somebody seen Allison P get fucked, man. He'll be all right. He'll be okay. We are gonna be most definitely about it. Okay.
He's seen worse than us.
Yeah. So
that nigga was on a show about incest. He'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll survive us, I think.
Hey man, how you lead this shit?
How do I lead this motherfucker?
Get out this motherfucker.
Peace, y'all.
Bye, y'all.